Hello, you're listening to Reviewing History, your comedy history podcast. I'm filmmaker and teacher Brian Rupert, joined here by...
Angie.
As
always, Steve Delgaco. You messed up.
Angie.
You being here
This was
threw
your
me off.
choice.
I know. And we have a special guest here from the Jacked Kirby podcast. We have Tommy Lombardozzi.
Yeah, that's me. I'm giving myself a round of applause.
Or Aunt G's future self.
Hey, what does that mean? The man should be so lucky.
I think you guys look alike. I wanted this visual.
Got a nice haircut.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I like the haircut.
Yeah.
I think this motherfucker's grayer than me.
You guys are wearing...
How old are you?
35.
All right, so I got 13 years on you.
We look great.
You're wearing the same shirt.
It's black. Black t-shirt.
It works so well.
That's been my wardrobe since high school, you know.
His
Black
too.
t-shirts, jeans. Why fuck around, you know?
I've always thought you guys look alike, and when I knew I was coming to you, I was like, I have to have them sit next to each other.
You did this on purpose?
Yeah.
For your sick fantasies?
Yeah.
That's the entire podcast.
I told Steve, I was like, you got to sit next to me. I need them to sit next to
And
each
let's
other.
get rid of these guys.
I
Start
know.
our own fucking
I
show.
agree.
You know?
That's the way to go.
It's called Fuck These Guys, the podcast.
My future self and me.
Hosted by two handsome guys.
So what is the Jacked Kirby podcast, sir?
It's a comic book based podcast, basically focusing on Jack Kirby, who is the king of comics.
Where do we know him from?
He pretty much created every fucking Marvel character you could think of.
So it's
except
not
for-
about a muscular Nintendo character.
No, it's not about that. Isn't he? Is it a muscular? I thought there was like a little. Wasn't he
Jacked
like a little?
It was a Jacked
Isn't
Kirby
Kirby?
joke.
Kirby's a little fat pink ball.
Yeah, like a dragon or something.
But if he because he gets the attributes of someone. So if there was someone jacked and he like sucked them up,
gotcha.
Right, yeah.
Oh, true. Okay, fair enough.
So what did he write? What do I know?
Jack Kirby. Okay, so the Marvel universe, basically all the Avengers,
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Is a 60s guy?
Well,
Well, he
started
goes
work,
back-
created Captain America with Joe Simon
wow.
back in 1940s.
Is he the original Cap artist?
Yeah,
Like
him and Joe Simon.
Okay.
Yeah. At DC did the New Gods, the whole fourth World Saga,
Silver
which
Surfer.
is
I know that one.
Silver Surfer.
So you excited for this new movie?
Tons of stuff.
what movie?
Fantastic Four. They're
Oh.
making a new one. They made Girl Silver Surfer.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to start diving into nerdy shit, but
Why not?
Do it.
there is a
Go
female
for it.
Silver Surfer. It exists in the comics.
Yeah.
So it's not totally, quote unquote woke nonsense or whatever. It does exist.
But it is.
I don't know why they would make that choice for the first time you're going to
Well,
see the Silver
I
Surfer.
do.
I think I know the real reason.
Tits.
No, I mean that would
That would be
I would prefer
ideal.
if they just gave her giant, like comically large breasts. I think the real reason is because I believe the Fantastic Four movie they're doing is going to take place in another
Right.
universe that's going to get destroyed at the end, with the Fantastic Four coming to the mainstream
Something like that,
universe.
right.
And when they get to the mainstream universe, I think we'll have
Eventually, you'll
we'll
get
have
the
the
real-
real
yeah.
Silver Surfer,
That's how I
Norrin
feel.
Rad.
Can I ask you a Marvel question?
Yeah, I'm happy to answer.
I noticed that they just came out with a new movie,
Thunderbolts.
and then they changed the name of it.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of them doing that in a film before?
Well, obviously, we've covered movies that have multiple titles before, where there's like an American title and an English title.
Well, that makes sense. But
They-
this is after the movie's released. They changed the name of it.
They built it into the marketing. though.
Yeah, that was part of the little asterisk.
Yeah.
Asterisk. At
Oh,
the
it
end of the
was.
name. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people knew the name of the movie.
Subject.
It was
Before
called
they
Thunderbolts with a little asterisk, and
Subject
everyone that
change.
cares was like,
What's the
what's
asterisk?"
the asterisk? Yeah, but I mean, it's still Thunderbolts. It's just now it's on the poster.
I see.
Because if they were smart, because I think if they titled the movie initially New Avengers, the expectations are
Fuck
super
this.
high.
Uh-huh.
And when you title it Thunderbolts, people are like, I'll give it more of a shot. And then you turn it into New Avengers. And yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I mean the Marvel cinematic stuff. It's gone. It's not as
You like
not
the
as
old
appealing
ones.
as
You
it
like
once
the old
was.
ones.
Yeah, I like the other stuff.
Well, when you have the option to just create and destroy universes, it doesn't matter what you do.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like then they kind of paint themselves into a corner, and then they're like, oh well, we could just it's multiverse. We'll just
Right.
get out of it. Yeah, I'm like,
Do whatever we
How
want.
many times are you gonna fucking do that? in the DC stuff, the Marvel stuff, the comics, the TV shows, like everything.
It's a comic book problem because you have so much continuity from years and years and years, and you want to attract new people, but like when you're a new kid, you're going to the stores to buy a Spider-Man comic, you see Spider-Man 960.
Yeah.
I need 950 other books.
Right.
Or you see Spider-Man #1.
You're gonna get number one.
You get #1.
Well, when I was a kid and buying comics, I never thought that way.
That's how
I
thought too.
You pick it up and you read what you want to read. That was kind of the fun of comics. You could go back and piece, fill in the pieces. Now they're making it, like you said, they're renumbering everything all the time. It just seems like a cash grab.
It is.
And it's like, fuck these guys.
Because, what they do in modern comics now is they'll introduce a #1. And what they'll do is they'll introduce a new villain. That run will sell out. They'll print the book 5 times because everyone wants the new villain.
Right.
The run will do decent numbers for like the first 4 or 5 issues, and then sales start to drop. Then they pull it out and they fucking go again. Right. And they just keep doing this, and then they'll like, oh, you know what? All the continuity is all weird and messed up. We're going to go in and refix the continuity. DC's done it 3 or 4 times. Right. Marvel has only done it once, I believe.
When they do the 1602 movie.
1602 Spider-Man, you're supposed to see something with him.
Oh, really?
Are you serious?
Yeah. He was in Across the Spider-Verse.
Right, yeah.
He loves 1602.
That's great.
It's like medieval Spider-Man?
Yeah. It's the Marvel Universe, but
Wait.
it's in 1602.
I mean, as a
Like
TV
Spawn?
show, that would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't Spawn do that?
I don't know.
But Spawn there's
medieval
spawns
Spawn?
throughout time. Yeah. But I mean, anyway, Brian's been on the show, and when he was on the show, me and my co-host had a fight. Not having anything to do with him. No, this poor bastard.
I just bring it out in people.
No, we fight a lot.
What was
we're
do you remember?
passionate.
Do you remember what it was about?
I don't fucking know. I mean, who cares?
It was good though. I remember
It was a good discussion
because I picked because they do Jack Kirby books, and I was like, I want to talk about Spider-Man. So I found one of the rare times that Kirby
Did Spider-Man?
He did like a backstory.
Yeah, he did a few.
Yeah.
And he did it was a Fantastic Four related
crossover,
story, right?
Yeah.
How was
And,
it?
It was cool, yeah.
Spider-Man's
For
a real
19
dick in the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We talk about dicks a lot on the show.
We do too.
Who doesn't?
I know. That makes a show good, I think.
Yeah.
We've been doing the show almost 10 years, and
Just talking about one guy?
no, but we have guests on, and we have it kind of branches out, and just like your show, when you start talking about one thing, it peters
Sure.
off into another
Yes.
thing. My co-host is a history teacher, so we get into history, movies, music, dick jokes. We tell our own stupid stories. It's the idea.
This sounds familiar.
Yeah, right. The idea is it's guys hanging out or girls hanging out at a comic shop.
Let's be
shooting
real.
the shit.
It's a comic shop. It's guys.
Pretty much. We've had ladies on.
Can I ask you a Kirby question?
Yeah, please.
Did he do any West books? Did he do any like Two Gun Kid or
Oh
anything?
yeah,
He
of
did?
course, yeah.
Okay.
Rawhide Kid, Two Gun Kid, Two Fisted Tales, all that shit.
That was a get
all
us
that
back
stuff.
on track question.
Yeah, that's a good
Like
one.
that, right?
I like it.
We're good at
We're
some
supposed to
stuff.
talk about Young Guns.
Yeah.
Young Guns.
You reached out and you were like, "Hey, I want to do Young Guns."
I don't know how somebody posted
Someone
about Young
posted
Guns?
something with Young Guns, or you did. Someone talked about Young
Right.
Guns, and you were like, "I want to come on." I was like,
Right.
"Fuck yeah, let's do Young Guns."
I love that movie.
So you've both seen it before.
I saw
I
it
saw it
once
in the
before.
movies. I mean, you guys are a little younger than
didn't.
me, but I saw it in the theater. My uncle Sonny took me, my brother and I. So that was the summer of '88, I guess.
Yeah.
Loved it. He took us to see a bunch of great movies that year. Fucking Die Hard.
Great year.
Captain America. Fucking,
Indiana Jones.
Coming to America.
Amazing year.
Is Indiana Jones that year?
That's '89.
Nah,
Yeah.
89, but we did see that. Not with my uncle, but yeah. So since then, love this movie. I was already a fan of some of those guys. Emilio Estevez and all.
Brat Pack, yeah.
Sure.
Particularly the Breakfast Club, which I loved
Yeah.
as a kid.
So I remember probably 15 years ago, Brian and I sat down to watch Young Guns.
It's the only time I ever watched it.
That's the first time.
Yes.
It was 15 years ago.
Something like that.
Right.
And we watched the intro and were taken aback by the level of gay cheesiness that we just talked through the whole movie and didn't pay attention to
you
a second
assholes.
of it.
The intro, you meaning the
You don't remember this?
looking at
I
the-
remember Tarzan, yeah, but I was just kind of paying attention.
We were not paying attention at all. I did not know what happened in this movie, other than the fact that it's the Lincoln County War.
Wait, so you
But-
watched it back then, and then
No, I watched
haven't
it. I
since,
watched it the other day.
and that's it.
That's it.
Oh,
This is
wow.
the first time I've seen it.
This is the first time
First time you've
Yeah.
paid attention.
Yes.
This is the first time I'm seeing it.
You can't
completely.
claim to have seen
For
the
me,
movie then.
Oh, wow.
So I've never really like enjoyed a lot of westerns. I'm just not like interested in it.
Okay.
This I don't even count as a western.
Why not?
Nah, that's
It's
foolish.
It's so ridiculous.
No, you're right.
We'll get into it.
No.
We'll get into it. Why?
I actually thought the movie was very good.
Movie's
fucking
awesome.
great.
I
Yeah.
didn't like this movie, and we'll get
It's-
into why.
Okay.
It's very 80s.
Yeah.
So the
music's
fucking
terrible.
music is so
Oh, the
bad.
music is great.
It is so bad.
So, like, let's talk about the music really quick. There was a
Yeah.
different score for it. James Horner had written a whole score, and then last minute they scrapped it, and then these new guys came and wrote this.
Fucking 80s
And it's
electronica.
very 80s score. And generally, when movies have the scores that don't fit the, what is it called, anachronistic time,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know what the fuck I'm
Fails.
talking about. I never liked that. In this movie, I do, and maybe it's just because I grew up with it and I
That's
watched
why.
it so many
Yeah.
times. But like,
You give it
there
a
are-
pass.
There are musical themes in it that I really like. I'm a musician too, so like I
Okay.
pay attention to things. I was like, that's cool. Oh, that's a cool riff, and this is cool. Sometimes it just does seem out of place.
It's like if Bon Jovi was a western.
Well, he does
Part two,
Young Guns
yeah.
too.
It's
Bon
fucking
Jovi's in part 2.
He's in it and he does the song,
That's
80s
fucking
cock.
perfect.
Blaze
It's
of
just
Glory,
cock rock.
which is a great fucking song.
Yeah, Blaze of Glory.
You can't be riding on horseback with a rifle in like the Wild West and just like,
I don't.
you can't
why
do
not?
It
It works,
because it
you know?
doesn't work.
It does. It
No,
would,
it doesn't.
Here's what I'll say. It
Don't lie.
wouldn't work with a different cast.
Yeah.
It works
Because this is like the boy band fucking
Exactly.
pretty boy cowboy movie.
that's why it works.
Yeah.
If
But
it was
that's
like
why I'm saying it's not a western.
that doesn't
But it
make
is
it
a
not
It is a
western.
western.
I mean, just because of the music.
I would.
So okay, the
argue
movie
it's
Dead
not.
Man. You ever see the movie Dead Man? Jim Jarmusch,
with Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
I
So
never
the music is done by Neil Young, and it's like weird electronic guitar music, and it's a fucking western. But so like you watch it, and you're like, this isn't a western because there's like weird electronic, electric guitar music.
The movie is played completely straight. It's not like it's cheesy or something. It's not.
Are you fucking insane?
if you take this-
am I taking crazy pills? You guys,
Steve,
fucking
if you
with me?
take the
It's not.
score out, do you think?
If
you still
it's
think?
so? Yeah, like even if you take the score out, the straight cheese and
Maybe the peyote scene. But other than
there's
that,
a peyote scene.
Yeah, they had to find their
There's
way.
a
Fuck
scene.
you guys.
Come on.
How are you going to question the Navajo
Here's
way?
the main problem for me with this movie, which we'll get into over the course of it, is that they take way too much privilege with their suspension of disbeliefs.
This is super accurate.
it actually is pretty accurate.
So Billy the Kid
It's
got
pretty-
thrown out of a second-story
No,
window
that's
in a
not,
fucking.
That's not true.
No.
Come on.
There's obvious.
There was an old man hiding in an outhouse that bullets just magically
Yes.
can't get
Yeah.
through.
That is true.
The
That
bullets
happened.
just can't get through them.
that
Yeah,
happened.
that happened.
Well, actually, the guy died.
Well, he did. He gets killed. Throughout the whole movie, though, people are getting shot
Dick
through
just
like walls.
slowly
and-
walks in front of the outhouse. It gets blasted.
That was
like,
stupid.
come
You think he
on,
would have known
guys.
better?
That's
that
how he
happened.
died.
That
yeah.
happened.
Just walking out in the open?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
I'm
That's
telling
hard for me to believe. That's hard for me to believe that a bunch of people who are in
hit-
shootouts all the time that are just going to walk in front of
Yes.
a fucking outhouse with openings in it.
That was a foolish move.
But that's what happened because they were trying to surround it.
Well, we'll get there.
Historians watched this in like the 90s and wrote that. I'm serious. They wrote this is
It's
the most
accurate, yeah.
accurate depiction
Of the Lincoln
of
County War.
the Lincoln County War.
up to that.
Up to that
Up to
point.
that point, which
I think
was
we
like
probably
how
read the
many?
same
Yeah.
shit online.
I'm sure there was some Billy the Kid movies out
Chisholm.
there.
Oh yeah. I mean he's one of the most famous cowboys, right?
Outlaws.
Out-
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in like Old West guys, it's like him,
He
Jesse.
may be number one.
Him, Jesse James, Wild Bill Hitchcock.
Yeah, Jesse James.
Yeah.
Hickok's a lawman.
I'm just saying, like
Wild
in
Bill Hitchcock.
Wyatt Earp, I think those are like
The Wild
the
West
Mount
names,
Rushmore, right?
Right.
You're just saying general characters of the Wild
Yeah,
West.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I mean, I know he's an outlaw, Billy the Kid, right? Because
Well, after this is over,
dedeputized.
they become criminals.
Right, but he's not right. He's not at the onset. He's not really an out. They're not bad guys per se.
No.
They
You know,
work
this
for a
is-
guy.
This is turf war, basically. You know.
Yeah,
And
but-
back during the Wild West. I mean, that's why it's called that. This lawless land, this new world. Everybody's kind of like they're making up the rules as they go because there's no really overreaching government. I mean, you guys have watched Ed Wood, right? You know what it's
They're not
like.
even in a state; they're in a territory.
Right.
But they weren't picked up by this guy because they were like lawful men. They were all picked up because they were criminals. None of them were good.
Here's the thing:
Well,
the real Tunstall, the British guy,
Is
he
like
was not a
24.
good
he's
guy.
24 years old.
yeah, young
Yeah.
man.
He's not their dad.
Yeah.
He's not teaching them how to read.
He's also like he's not like a well regarded figure either. He's like they're all evil.
They're
I
not
wouldn't say
evil.
evil. It's just it's
So
they're,
In the real
the Jack
story?
Palance
Entrepreneurial.
character
Yeah.
is a
I guess for the
All right,
Wild
wait,
West, yeah.
So,
For the
so
time.
let's back up and let's give some backstory to the situation.
okay. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Good idea.
So before we get into the movie, we gotta talk about, obviously westward expansion and all that. There's towns. The bottom line is that
people know that.
Yeah, is that's what I'm saying. You have
It's 1878.
Jack Palance is working for one businessman.
No, he is the businessman.
He is the businessman.
But
Him
he's
and- he
really
has a
his
partner.
character is two people.
That,
Yeah.
they
He's
combine.
Murphy and Dolan.
Yes.
Are the two guys, right? I think he's
Dolan is
Murphy
the
in the
real
movie.
piece of shit.
Kind of, yeah. They control the beef industry in that territory.
Yes.
They have the contracts to sell to the army, which is massive. Not only that, they're backed up by San Francisco syndicates, and like there's a criminal element to everything, levels of corruption on top of corruption. He owns the sheriff, he owns the governor.
They have contracts with the government to give beef to reservations.
reservations, right?
This guy Tunstall, right, and yes, they sell to the Indians as well.
Yes.
This guy Tunstall is kind of like the newcomer who's trying to muscle in on his business and take a piece of it, essentially. They don't like that.
They're rivals.
Right.
Yeah.
He's coming with foreign money, too. He's British.
He's British.
And there's inevitably going to be a showdown over this.
Right.
It's mafia shit, pretty
it's-
much.
Right.
It's very similar to the Wyatt Earp shit in Tombstone,
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's like neither of them are like when he's fighting the Cowboys, neither of them are like
All good.
all good.
Or all bad.
They're
yeah.
they're two gangs,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
It just so happens that one side is the winning side and the other one isn't.
There's
And
tons
in this case, one side has more power, meaning
established power.
Murphy,
Yeah.
Murphy
Yeah.
and Dolan,
Right.
and they're corrupt, because they do have politicians in their pockets and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't think you can call these guys evil when they're doing the same thing as their competition. It's just
Also-
They're trying to just muscle in on their business.
yeah, it's just there's no law and they're all trying to fucking make their
Do
way.
a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
And
still
obviously,
evil.
obviously,
they're
in the
all
movie
doing
though,
evil. What?
it's heightened to make one guy a
They're
villain.
outlaws. No one's debating that.
He just said it.
I don't think that's
I don't know
evil.
why we're trying to put a moral judgment on them. Yeah, we know they're all fucked up.
Technically, Brian's
talking
an
about
outlaw
outlaws.
because he didn't pay his
Yeah.
fucking easy pass.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's an outlaw, but he's not evil. I hope not.
Debatable.
How well do you know?
But yeah. So obviously, the bullshit part of the movie, Steve, is that they do turn it into, well, these guys are the quote unquote good guys,
Yeah.
and these guys are the bad guys. Like,
Right.
Jack Palance is an
You're right.
excellent villain.
Right.
He's dressed in black all the time. He's skeevy, he's got a sex slave Asian.
Yeah.
The movie makes it out like they're out for justice.
Right.
Right.
When in reality,
Well, they are.
They're out for revenge.
Right.
It's not justice.
Yeah.
They're
but
out for
in
revenge.
reality, they are out for revenge.
Yeah. They're
Billy-
not out for justice.
Billy is the one of the group who, initially, Dick, who's Martin,
Yeah.
Charlie
Charlie
Sheen,
Sheen.
is the guy, I guess, the level-headed leader of the group, quote unquote. And,
Charlie Sheen is.
and Billy, right. Imagine, let's go get that AIDS.
Fucking.
I can blow a tranny faster than any of you.
And Billy is the guy who, once they kill Tunstall, he's like, no, fuck that. Now they all have to go down, and they're deputized, so they could do things the law way, but they don't. Because of
They just murder
right.
people.
Right.
And maybe they're, maybe they're justified to a degree.
you know, they have their motivations. I wouldn't
Yes.
say it's evil.
They softened them in the movie. Like they made them
100%. 100%.
like these orphans who were taken in by
Who
a
just
kindly
they're just
gentleman
learning.
who's trying to teach them.
Look, they're trying to make a movie. You know,
Yeah.
they want you to
They
root for
want you
them.
to root for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And come on, I mean, those guys. I know why you were confused when you first saw it. Those guys are handsome. They come up on that
Exactly.
screen.
right.
We have this intro where every
I love
character
it.
has to have a face
Smirk
reveal.
That
Yeah.
intro sucks.
It's
So great.
insane.
Look, it is corny, but I fucking love it.
It's the corniest start of
Like-
any movie I've ever seen.
They're showing their legends.
If the movie was made 10 years later, they'd be played by the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. And they're like rough, tough, wild, gunning outlaws. Like you look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's like, yeah, that's what they probably should look like.
No,
I
they're
don't think
younger,
they look
though.
right. I don't think they don't look the part.
Like, you can look
know?
at a picture of Billy the Kid.
He's
Yeah, he
he's
looks
an ugly
rough, He looks
motherfucker.
roughed up.
But he has
He's like 19 in that picture, the famous one.
Yeah. He
looks
and
32.
He looks like someone just beat the
hard
shit.
living, boy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, you're not. Yeah, like it's a big misstep.
But we're not gonna look. You're doing a movie about
What came first, this or Breakfast Club?
Breakfast Club. But you're doing a movie about younger guys.
Guns.
Like, yeah, but you're not gonna cast grizzled dudes for it. Like, I don't know how you can
Do
get
it
mad.
twice.
I don't know how you can get mad at the casting for like.
I'm not mad at the
No, I'm
casting.
talking to Steve. Like,
Yeah.
like for like the younger actors that are popular at the time. Like, if you were making this today, you're doing like Timothy Chalamet, like Tom Holland, and like I can't name other young guys, but Patrick Schwarzenegger, like
Who's that?
Arnold's kid.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
The Mexican?
No.
I always thought that
No,
too.
I would
I
do a
thought he was the
Hemsworth.
bastard
I'll do
kid.
Hemsworth brother. He's a
too old
rough-looking
now.
guy.
He's too old now.
Do fucking yeah, like there's could have been better.
Think about that Jesse James movie they did. The
Assassination.
yeah, and they're all like good-looking dudes. You know?
You have
Like,
Brad Pitt is like a grizzled Jesse James.
No one questions that. You know, like
Brad Pitt
Because he's got some gravitas.
got some
But these guys
the other
shouldn't
Sheen
have
sucks.
gravitas. These guys shouldn't
Sheen
have
is so bad in
gravitas.
this.
Sheen, yeah,
His
he's-
accent's
he's
not
okay.
good.
Right.
He just wasn't.
He was
the-
definitely the biggest star
He's
in the
the
movie at the time,
weakest
right?
and he was the
No,
weakest
really.
role.
of the bunch.
Yeah.
I think because I think everybody has a real, I wouldn't say cartoonish personality, but they all kind of do have jokes and things.
Well, they
you
have
know,
more
like,
of characters,
right,
You
and
know,
he's
That
a
too.
very straight-laced character. I mean, he's fine. He's serviceable. He's fine.
How about Kiefer's mullet? We're not going to talk about that?
It's great.
pretty good. It's great. Like Doc loves poetry.
Yeah.
At first, I thought they were making him Doc Holliday. I was like, he's not Doc Holliday, is he?
No.
Yeah, no.
The hoaxiness of it.
Hokiness.
Hokiness, like really, like took me out of it. You know what I
Nice
mean?
correction.
I didn't. I don't know, man. I didn't really.
You know, like the
I don't know.
jokes, like you said, like there's a lot of jokes in
I
there.
think the
It's-
jokes are good. I'm a guy that hates jokes and shit. You know, like in these movies, I like things to be serious. But in this one,
But I think it's clear that from the beginning, it's clear what the tone of this movie is going to be. They're not trying to make this a gritty thing.
Yeah.
It's a fun Western. Like,
But
what-
it is fairly violent and.
It's,
Like,
yeah.
he said they played it straight.
They
don't,
do.
They do play it straight.
but it's completely
well,
jokey.
they play the drama straight.
Yeah,
like-
but that's how life is.
yeah,
Life
I
is
get
jokey.
it. I get it. But to me, westerns are not like that.
I don't think it's melodramatic.
There's not a lot of
though.
there's not like comedy westerns. It's very rare.
I don't know about
Like you know,
There's a lot of comedic
Blazing
Westerns.
Saddles.
I'm just gonna
Blazing
say-
Saddles is a comedy.
Paint your wagon.
right? It's a comedy, right? It's a comedy spoof.
Magnificent
This is
Seven has
closer-
humor.
This is closer to a
weird
spoof.
movie
I don't.
know,
I
like,
think
that's
you're
how I
being
felt.
extreme, Steve. I think
where
you're being
Harrison
extreme.
Ford crossed the country with the rabbi.
with
the
the
Frisco
Giamatti. Yeah, it's a great movie. That's great. I mean, there's
Or maybe
not
I
a-
just don't want my westerns being like that. I
Right,
want
maybe-
like a gritty western.
Throw out
maybe
your
that's the
hand.
case. You know,
Take out
may-
your tooth.
but I never thought the humor here is overdone. Even to this day, as an old guy who's been watching this for 30-something years, like I think it works. You know, a lot of the stuff works, especially for the characters that get the comedy bits. You know, like it fits their characters. You know.
I don't even think there's that much comedy in this
Yeah.
movie. I mean, I
There's
don't
a
know what you
bit,
guys
but
are
I mean,
talking
some.
about.
not crazy.
I don't
mean, the
f-
peyote scene is
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
played-
that's funny.
is played for a goof,
Right.
but they're stoned. You know.
I don't feel the tone is too far removed from like Tombstone.
Yeah,
like it's
I
not
agree.
super far. You know,
I agree.
Like
Agreed.
Like it's like Tombstone is pretty light.
Don't mind
overall.
him. He's just drunk.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like It's totally within that realm. Like maybe a slight degree like lighter, but
Sure.
and the score probably doesn't help for you.
No.
But it's overall like played straight. Like there's not like a fart joke, like there's nothing.
Yes,
where
there
a
is.
guy farts
Yes,
in
there
it.
is.
Yeah, the guy farts in it.
There is a fart joke.
Yeah, but I'm not like, they don't like fart in Jack Palance's face and say, here's Curly's gold, and like rip one in his face.
That's another thing we have to talk about. Jack Palance is the star of the greatest series of all time,
Of
City Slickers,
greatest
1
Western
and 2.
series.
Yes,
I never,
played
s-
both Curly and Duke.
I never saw part 2.
You never
Oh
saw
my
part
God!
The search for Curly's
two?
gold.
Anthony can recite
All of City Slickers 2 from memory.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
It's
I'll watch it.
City folk.
Jack Palance was having a resurgence in this. The next year was Batman.
Yeah.
Then he was in
City Slickers.
City
he
Slickers.
won an Oscar.
Yeah, he won the Oscar for City Slickers, and then City Slickers 2, and then he dropped
He
out. I
died,
think.
right? Yeah. He got his last
I did all I
fight.
could do.
Yeah.
I could die happy now. But I think he's a great villain. He's such a creep, and his delivery is good.
Terrence Stamp is great
Is
too
also
as a
great, yeah.
mentor.
Oh yeah.
The old guy Zod. That's Zod.
Zod, you get Zod, and you get Carl Grissom.
Yeah.
Batman and Superman villains in one movie.
But he's so kindly, you like him immediately. You
Yeah.
know, he's like, look at these ruffians.
Look,
I'm
I'd kill
yeah.
for this guy. I'd kill,
Oh yeah,
I'd kill for this
he
guy.
brings you in like
He might blow you.
your whole band of like your whole band of young orphans.
Yes.
It's,
Wash your balls, young Billy.
can we get a girl in here?
Come read with us. If not, we kick you out.
The Penthouse Forum. I want to see everybody with a hard on. Yeah, I mean, Terrence Stamp is great. I think the casting is great. The 6 guys are really good. We talked about Martin. I keep saying Martin Sheen.
Charlie.
Sheen. Casey Shimashko, I love. He's great.
He plays the like mean guy.
Charlie
Yeah.
Beaudry.
Charlie.
Yeah.
The idiot.
Yeah.
The pugilist. And
Right.
that's another cool thing. You got one guy who's like a knife fighter, one guy's a boxer, the sharpshooters, the poet. They give him all these little
Poet.
Yeah.
these little
They got these little traits.
throw a quill in your neck,
Yeah.
But
They really are like a Final Fantasy party.
right. Dermot Maroney is definitely gross
The music
in the
matches.
movie.
The music matches. It might as well be Nintendo music.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Tom Cruise is a cameo.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise?
Fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
When?
He's just like a random dude who gets shot. He just wanted to pop in and like be in a western for a
He
second.
couldn't
and
be
die.
a young gun?
He's
He's the guy that yells fire
Yeah,
right
yeah.
before they I guess siege the house.
Yeah, he's like,
in
fire.
He's in the army?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, he
This
dies
is a
really
weird,
quick.
like a weird at a time when Tom
Weird.
Cruise is like a somewhat normal human
he's
being.
damn big, yeah.
Right, like I could mingle with the common folk and be in the background guy in this movie,
Yeah, I feel like he's like, yeah, I just want to do a western and like,
But not really do it. Yeah.
I just want to pop in
Yeah.
because he's like, it's not good for the Tom Cruise like brand.
He
Well,
wasn't
did
part of the
Far
Brad
Away.
Far and Away,
Remember
yeah.
that movie? It's not great.
That movie's awesome.
I love Far
It's
Away.
it's all right, but his accent is not.
It's a nice
Yeah.
movie for nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie.
Did Sam Neill have a cameo in this, by the way?
Sam Neill?
No.
Okay, I thought
didn't-
he was the guy Billy the Kid shoots in the bar
No.
The
was like-
whistling
No.
guy, the
when he
bounty
takes
hunter.
the gun out of the yeah. I thought that was Sam Neill.
Which is a thing that really happened, but not quite like
Yeah.
that. You know?
Also, Estevez and Sheen are brothers.
Yes.
So it's like it's got to be cool for them that they were able to like be in the same movie because that didn't happen
Right,
often.
and sort of be rivals.
Yeah.
Men at Work. Remember that movie?
I never saw that one.
I remember the band.
It's not a great movie, but it's a great movie. It's got the Sheen brothers and David Keith, and they play like garbage men, hijinks ensue. I recommend it.
Who do you like better, Kiefer or Donald?
It's tough.
I like Donald
Donald.
better.
It's got to be Donald. Kiefer's not bad, though.
Kiefer's in some good stuff.
I mean, for Stand By Me alone, I think he great villain. He plays a real. He's in a lot of good things. I was watching the movie last night, and I was thinking like this guy's in a ton of cool shit.
Yeah.
And he never became like a joke. Like Charlie Sheen imploded.
Tiger Blood.
And
Tiger
I feel like
Winning.
Kiefer Sutherland kept a pretty good, solid career and never became like an idiot.
Yeah, he did 48 hours.
I would like to bring up
24.
when he
24,
jumped
right.
into the Christmas tree. Have we all forgotten that?
What?
I forgot this.
He
This is why you don't invite him over for Christmas.
he got hammered on camera in a hotel lobby
I remember.
and launched himself into a Christmas tree. There's video of it.
That's cool.
Yeah, throw it up on YouTube, right?
I'm sure you're looking at
It's just a good time.
He did that for real?
Yes.
Is that an
In
asshole?
fact, after watching the movie, I went and watched the video again.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a drunk. He was drunk for a while.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I know he had some drunk problems, but I don't know. I always liked him. You know,
Yeah, he did
that's
phone
good.
booth.
I love
never
phone
saw
booth.
that.
Oh, I love phone booth.
Phone
Joel
booth is
Schumacher?
awesome.
Yeah,
He was he did that show.
24.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Emilio Estevez like vanished. Like
Yeah.
he
started
does
directing.
nothing.
He didn't make
Yeah.
it out of the 80s.
He did Mighty Ducks in the 90s
That's
Oh,
all.
yeah.
That's all he had.
and
to
Mission
do.
Impossible, and then he's just gone.
He directed that movie that you guys should probably cover. Bobby, you ever see that movie?
Oh, he did it. That's him.
That's him. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Great
know he
movie.
did that.
And he did another one for. It was a Showtime movie. It was a true story about the guys who. It was a porno guys. I think Charlie Sheen was in it. I forget the name of the movie. It was like a cable movie about the guys, not Hustler, the Penthouse guys. Maybe?
In like Flint?
The People versus Larry Flint.
No. No,
Favorite
that's
movie.
Hustler.
Yeah, I love that movie. That's what it is.
In like Flint. That's my
I forget. I don't know the name of the movie, but I think he directed that. He became a director, you know, and now he's writing a third Young Guns movie.
Young Guns 3.
Dead or Alive, baby.
Really? Is he going to be in it?
But the guns are old.
Old guns.
I don't know. Right. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I don't know. I mean,
I don't know what happens in Young Guns 2. Doesn't Billy the Kid get killed? Because that's what happened in real life.
Pat
Well,
Garrett.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got killed like shortly after this, right?
Not terribly long.
They in real life, yeah, he's supposed to
Yeah.
get killed in like
Yeah.
1880 or 90 or something like that. But I mean, you saw Young Guns too? You
No,
guys
I haven't.
No, but
I don't want to spoil it for you. You go
Yeah,
watch Young
don't.
Guns 2.
I mean, it's got Bon Jovi.
It's got
It's up
Bon
there with
Jovi.
U571.
Young Gun 2,
the other
Young Gun 2 is
masterpiece.
really fucking good.
I
And
never
it's-
saw Young Guns too.
Really?
No.
Oh, it's good. It has more of the history in it. You know,
Mm.
John Chisholm's in it, played by James Coburn, who's great.
Oh, I love James
he's
Cole.
great.
Great cast. You know, it has
Duck
a-
You Sucker.
that's a good call. But and it also has a scene with a great naked ass in it. This lady's ass.
is she Asian?
No, she's not. But when I was a kid, I used to pause that VCR.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crack stick, baby. You know, back then you didn't have a lot of options.
Oh, I get it. I grew up in.
You'll see the scene, and
Yeah.
you might pause it too.
I saw Titanic 4 times in theaters as a kid because I was like, "There's boobs on that."
pulled
thing.
a Pee-wee?
and like they let me go see it. No, I was in 5th grade. I wasn't doing that, but I knew going to see that
Right,
movie
right,
would
right.
lead to
That's
boobs.
your option.
Kate Winslet, great tits.
Yeah, I'm convinced that's why that movie made so much money. By the way,
It,
just
it
after the-
didn't hurt.
yeah,
It didn't
because
hurt.
you had little boys like me who all knew.
Yes.
Oh, my parents will let me see that. Let's go
Right.
again. Let's go again. I'll see it every week.
It's a great love story.
I'm in love with
Romance.
those tits.
Romance.
Yeah, nowadays you could just obviously go
Oh,
on the
yeah.
internet and
Now there's 5-year-olds looking at, German shit videos on their parents' phone.
it really sucks. I mean, you have kids. You guys don't have
Oh, yeah.
kids. I don't have kids. That like when I was, I'm a little older than you guys. To find material when you were back then, you'd be like a random magazine hidden in the
Sure.
park or
Sears.
whatever under a rock or whatever. Yeah.
Effort.
Like
Took
it was,
effort.
and then you really appreciated it. All you see is bush, but that's all you need. Now you could watch the most extreme filth. It's like by the time my nephew, he's 15 now, is my age.
It definitely hasn't
he's gonna
affected
have to
society
have a
at all.
corpse or something just to get off. Yeah, it really does.
Nothing bad happened because of that.
Right. I'm no prude, but I feel like those things you just don't appreciate it as much, when you don't have to work for it as much, Anyway, I'm sorry.
All right, no, it's
Quite all right.
Yeah, no. It's
Should
fun.
we start the movie?
Yes.
Yeah, let's jump
So
in.
we open. It's like a music video with the Young Guns. Steve is sick to his stomach, and
I was laughing. I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" That's when I texted you.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god!"
right away.
It is
Yeah.
silly. Put the theme music to like Full House over that,
Sure. Yeah.
and it looks like one of those openings
Everywhere,
to a sitcom.
Um,
But
It's
I
like,
don't mind.
you know what? It kind of reminds me of the opening song of like Top Gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
right.
Like it's just like that.
It's just the style of the time.
Right.
So we're introduced to Zod and Sutherland, Terrence Stamp, and we see they kind of have like a mentor relationship, and right away they catch Emilio Estevez like crawling through mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gun in his hand, just committed a crime, and they're like, "Come with us, boy."
Right.
Now, how did they really meet? Do you know?
He was hired as like just a cattle.
Just a regular guy, right?
So Billy the Kid worked initially for Murphy,
okay.
and he didn't like their practices. He thought they were too gangsterish or whatever. So he sort of fell out with that gang. And Tunstall was like, well, obviously this guy knows what he's doing as far as cowboying things. So I'll take him. And that's how he started working with Tunstall.
Billy the Kid described Tunstall as the only man who ever treated me as a free white man should be treated.
Oh, wow.
It's an actual quote.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he and because he had that relationship with Murphy people, he would also kind of use him sort of as a spy to get information from the Murphy gang and stuff like that. They don't go into that in the movie. Obviously, they don't have that in the movie.
They could have cut out the peyote scene and threw that in.
You didn't like the peyote scene.
I hate the peyote scene.
I didn't like the
talking
peyote
about?
scene either.
I knew you wouldn't.
It goes a little too long, but it's fine.
Not fine.
So we're introduced to a Mexican character, right? Chavez.
Jose Chavez.
Yes. Lou Diamond Phillips.
He's good at it.
Handsome bastard.
He's
Never
good at it.
plays the ethnicity that he is in real life. Always playing the Mexican guy.
Yeah.
What is he?
It's like Pan Asian or something. Like
He's Filipino.
Honoluluan.
Yeah, he's Filipino.
Is he
You looked him
Filipino?
up?
Yeah. Because
He looks Mexican.
My wife was next to me, and she literally said the same thing. Like, why does he always play Native Americans? Is he Native American? And I
Well,
looked
he,
up.
Mexican,
he looks
yeah.
like
I was
Yeah.
like, nope.
Rick G. Valens, Mexican. You know?
Wasn't
Well,
he
we used to
like
call our Filipino friend Mexican.
wasn't he like the host or narrator of like World War II in color or in HD, one of those shows
He
on the
did
History
something
Channel?
like that, yeah.
Yeah. He's one of those.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did some like voiceover stuff like that. So now they take Emilio Estevez back to their farm, and we find out
Ranch.
The ranch, yeah. What's the difference?
They're not growing crops.
I guess they're not.
So, all right,
Tilling the field.
if they planted a crop, does it automatically become a farm, or is it
Yes.
still a ranch?
I think it has to be majority
I think
crop.
you do one or the other.
No,
You can't do
majority
both?
crop.
Or they're selling it.
If it's majority animals, it's ranch. If it's majority crop, it's farm. Settled.
I don't know.
I'm a city boy.
Sure.
It's all farm.
Yeah.
I'll believe you, Steve.
So we see their backstory, and we find out that they're all ruffians
Yes.
that were taken in by Terrence
John
Stamp,
Tunstall.
and he's gonna train them up.
Teach you boys how to be men.
Civilized them.
He's gonna
Yeah.
make them read the newspaper.
Read.
I like that right away. Everyone's kind of a dick to Emilio Estevez. They're hacking on
Well,
him.
he's the new guy.
Yeah. But then they're like, "What did you do?" He's like, "I killed someone."
No.
Why?
Hacking on me.
No.
He's hacking on me.
He said, "We heard you killed a man. What'd you do that for?" And he goes, "They were hacking on me."
Yeah.
And right there, you get a chill up your spine, like, "Oh, it's corny."
I think it's fine.
It's not. It's I'm breaking
was
your
fine.
balls. It's
Yeah.
the same thing that mafia
yeah,
guys get
yeah.
killed for all the time on The Sopranos.
Yeah.
And then you hear the gulp, Dirty Steve, gulp, which is obviously comical.
Yeah. And then he's like, "You're gonna be cleaning the, I don't know, barn or something."
You're gonna wash the dishes alone.
Yeah.
Wash him
For
alone.
being a
both
dick.
of you.
Yeah.
Master Steven, that wasn't nice.
Yeah. Stop being a shithead.
Call me Master Steven.
I'll never do that.
Yeah, that's
Can't
why
make me.
you're not a gentleman. You're not,
Yeah, he had disgusting teeth.
you're not a gentleman.
And they're all gathered around the fireplace. Tunstall's making them read.
Yeah.
And they really can't do it. And then they give it to Billy. And Billy can read perfectly.
Yes.
And they're like, "Holy shit.
He can read.
He can read."
He's like
The
Ray
Irishman.
Stevenson.
Yeah. did you ever see The Irishman?
Of course.
They make a big point of that he has the ability to read.
Read.
It's 1970s in Cleveland.
I don't remember that in the movie.
Yeah.
They spend like 4 scenes of it
In the very beginning, yeah. Building up that
remember
he
that.
can read. Like he's in a bar reading books. All right. So Jack Palance and his goons show up.
Murphy.
The sheriff.
The sheriff. And
Murphy shows up.
Billy the Kid is hiding.
Oh, yes.
And
Sheriff Brady, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Sheriff Brady. And he's hiding. And they basically, he calls Terrence Stamp gay, essentially,
Yeah.
for having all these boys.
Yeah.
Young boys.
Like,
He's teaching young boys.
You know, when they were writing this, they're like, we need to throw in someone calling this guy gay because it's weird he has all these
Right.
young, hot guys around.
Young wards.
Yeah. The old Batman, you know?
Yeah. Makes sense.
And it's a good. I think that's a good line. You know, like
Yeah.
not only because they're hacking on him, but also like watching the movie. You're like, is this guy a little
Yeah.
fugazi? You know?
He's also British, which also lends
Right.
itself to
Yeah.
that.
little AC Doocy, maybe.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Rob Roy?
Nah, I never saw that.
He calls Tim Roth a buggerer of boys.
Oh yeah, he buggers him up the butt. Yeah.
He's mad at me touching
No,
the
I'm not.
microphone.
It's just I'm going to hear it when I hear it.
Oh,
Yeah. No, I deserve that.
You
I
bender.
deserve that.
You're a bender.
I'm a real son of a
Bugger.
bitch.
So there's a power struggle between
Murphy.
Murphy and Tunstall. And it's pretty clear. And then
It's Murphy's Law.
what can go
That's what
wrong.
it is.
And McCluskey shows up.
Klusky.
James, right?
Yeah,
James McCluskey. He wants in, and they're just like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, they let
They
this
don't
guy
even-
join.
They don't even vet him.
Pretty quickly, right?
Not even like, hey, where you from?
Right.
Just, yeah, come
Yeah,
on.
they-
Well,
You'll
he
live with
knows.
us.
He knows that he was just with
Yeah.
the Murphy gang.
Did they go to the interracial dance yet?
That's about to
No,
happen.
it's happening.
Okay.
Which now I got real.
They
Well,
go to
into
the
the
dance
McCluskey
party.
thing a little bit because that kind of plays into
It
what happens later.
Comes up later.
Yeah, he joins the gang and he's like, well, I wanted to leave. You know, I called him a
Yeah.
fat sow. They kicked me out, so now I don't have a place to go. So he's like, all right, I'll take you in.
Yeah.
And
Which, as you said, is kind of what happened with Billy.
sort of right.
Yeah. So I guess this happens.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
It
his
happens,
loyalties will be tested in the movie and in real life in a
Yes.
pivotal scene.
Yeah. And Billy shoots at everyone for fun.
Yeah. Well, he's a bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah,
little bit.
he's a hothead.
A little bit.
It's just fun.
Two
It's
pistols just
He's a hot-headed teen.
Yes.
He's he's popping off.
laughing. I mean, great laugh.
I used to know a guy
Emilio
like
Estevez,
that.
Great laugh.
What?
I used to know a guy like that. He was fucking doing wacky shit, stabbing people. And,
For real?
Well,
Yes. He shot
funny,
at Beavis'
he shot
head.
at me twice. Just like this.
Who shot at you?
A friend.
For real?
Yeah.
Twice.
Oh, he was
One
your-
across my face, one at my feet.
Jesus Christ.
That was a
Dance,
weird
you
night.
motherfucker,
Same
dance.
night. It was a weird night.
Staten Island guys are crazy. Jeez.
But then, like, he's like, "Let's dance," and they all go dancing.
dancing.
I thought you were talking
Sure.
about your friends. Still.
No.
All right. I'll
So we
dance.
gotta end that there.
Right. They go to the New Year's Eve dance.
Yes.
Tunstall, yeah, Tunstall's
Reminded me
like,
of
oh, let's dance.
Back to the Future 3.
Obviously, the whole time I'm like, I wish they were just playing double back.
Double back.
The best Western dance scene by far.
Which I guess this is like a New Year's Eve
Yeah.
party
Yeah.
in the town, which just it's nice, I guess. And
They all put their guns up and shoot them in the sky to celebrate, like
Yes.
Yeah.
many communities
Auld
in
Lang
America
Syne.
still do.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Staten Island. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we meet Yen's son,
Yes.
China doll.
China Doll Yen's son.
It's a Scorpion song.
Is this based off a real person? Do
I
we
don't
know?
think
This is
so.
totally.
No.
This is just fake,
totally
right?
made up. Yeah.
This wouldn't be allowed.
This is totally made up.
I don't even know like why. Like she's not like why is this a thing in this
Because
story?
we got to have
Just
him
to
have
show
an
that
Asian
he's
Yeah.
slave.
To
Yeah,
show that he's a
right?
creep. You know, he took
Yeah.
this young girl from her family because they ruined his shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an evil thing to do, right?
yeah.
And he has this sex slave at his house. You know,
It gives Doc someone to pursue,
Right.
and it gives the
even though he
girls
was
a
married
surrogate.
in real life.
Yeah.
He was no, he already
was?
he had
Okay.
he had married and had kids already at this point. So this is a totally fictitious.
It's a good way to throw the word
Part of the movie.
celestial around in the movie.
Great, which you don't hear enough.
Yeah.
You know, I say that to my friends sometimes. And,
Oh, Celestial.
no one ever knows what I'm talking about.
This in Deadwood is where you hear it.
And I have one of my good friends is a Chinese guy, and I always call him China. You know, like, because of this movie.
Oh, you call him the kind word.
I call him other things too, but he calls me things too. So friends.
I used to know a guy in high school.
friends do.
He was half Italian, half Chinese. They used to call him the Gink.
That's amazing. I know this fat kid in high school who was a Chinese fat kid, and I used to call him Chunk.
Truffle
Works in
shuffle.
so many ways.
He was an asshole too.
So we're introduced to Pat Garrett.
Yes,
Yeah.
for no reason.
Really?
What I think that's there for,
So
Plot
if
device.
you know, you know.
if you know, you know that
Yeah.
you're like, this is the guy who's gonna fucking get Billy.
Right.
And I like it because I know
Yeah.
it adds like a layer of like stakes
Yeah,
right
it's cool.
away. It's like, oh, it's Pat Garrett.
Plays a big part in the second movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Pat Garrett's a poet, and then we meet Randy Quaid.
Kiefer Sutherland's a poet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Doc's
yeah.
a poet, not
Yeah, Doc's a
Randy
poet.
Quaid.
Sorry.
He
Randy
got
Oh,
Quaid,
Locke
yeah.
from Lost.
It's not really Randy Quaid.
Alex,
I thought it was too.
Alex McSween.
Wait, that's not Randy
no,
Quaid.
it's not Randy Quaid.
No.
Are you serious?
I thought it was him too.
That's the guy
It
that
looks
played
just like
Locke
him.
on Lost. What's his
I
name?
thought that was Randy Quaid.
It's not.
The hell's that
Holy
actor's
shit.
name? Terry McSweeney?
Terry O'Quinn?
Terry O'Quinn, yeah.
Dude, I thought that was.
I did too. I looked.
I assumed.
What?
I was
Are
like,
you crazy?
I saw it the whole time. I was like, oh, it's Randy Quaid.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, looked just like him.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone.
wasn't Quaid.
Yeah.
I am Quaid.
Remember me, boys?
So that guy, Alex McSween, is Tunstall's lawyer.
Yes.
Okay.
And he also, in real life, he owed money because he was a partner monetarily with Tunstall. So he owed money to the banks because of his connection to
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Tunstall.
So
But
he
they were
wasn't.
partners.
He's an investor.
Yeah. He wasn't a
And he was
complete
he
outlaw.
was his
but
lawyer, right? Yeah, he wasn't a complete outlaw, but he
definitely dabbling in the world.
the law was out for him because he owed money. So he had. They don't really in this movie. The law just they kill him. Like there's
Yeah,
no
they just
real
want him dead because
fucking
he's
reason.
friends with them.
Right, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of if they would have explained that better in the movie, it would have made more sense. But then also, like, why do you kill the guy if he owes you money? Like, you want to get that money.
yeah.
He's a lawyer. He's got to be doing okay, But anyway,
I was very confused with that too. I was like, why do they want this man so dead?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't really.
it's also I guess
ironed.
in the movie they kind of let it be known that he's the only guy that would be able to uncover the
Corruption.
graft and corruption
Yes.
of the Murphy clan.
Keep trying to get President Hayes down there.
Right.
Yes. Well, I wanted to ask you about this, and since you mentioned it, I'll just ask you now. What, and I never thought of it until this movie, so I got to give it credit. What is the thought in, like, Washington and the East about the West and all the violence and shit that is taking place out here?
They can't really do much about it. It's very local, like what
Right.
the law enforcement could do. You got guys like the Texas Rangers who are trying to rein shit in, but bounty hunters and everything are running around. The army can only do so much, especially when they're fighting Indians and trying to keep the territory in line to begin with. This particular incident, the Lincoln County War, actually will lead to some changes. They actually made it illegal after this for the government, for federal troops to be used in local law enforcement.
Yes.
So they
Oh wow.
yeah. So
Because of the
because of this,
incident in the movie.
yeah. The Lincoln County is actually the biggest county in the United States at the time.
Really?
Yeah. So it's actually kind of a big deal.
Right, so
lot
it
of
covered
land.
Like as far as
lot
the
of
size of
land,
it.
right,
Yeah.
covered a
So
lot
you
of
can't
territory.
police it.
Yeah.
It's too ridiculous.
And the idea that like the Wild West had the most violence is also to me a little strange because when we think of like gangs of New York, it's like there's violence everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not just located in the West.
Right.
Like that's just the fun name, but like
You got settlers and ruffians killing
Yeah.
each other. It's
all over.
really not. Like, think about the crime that's in the United States right now.
Yeah.
You know?
For you to bring up the gangs of New York, I think specifically in that movie, they're really focused on one tiny section of New York, like
Yeah.
the
The
ghetto,
5
basically,
points.
right?
Right.
So I mean, think of that as like a Crips versus Bloods type thing. It's not
Yeah.
it's not throughout the country. It's very isolated. Whereas I think this this stuff in this movie in the Wild West, it's a little more. It's starting to expand. You know, like it's covering more territory because it's people are moving west and the railroads and all this shit.
But when you have gangs, when you think of like gang war,
There's a gang war on the other side of the empire.
it's just two gang wars.
It's somebody else's problem
Yeah.
as far as the president's concerned.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Right. Well, we can't
They're
do
not
any-
even like officially states. They're just
Yeah.
Right,
territories.
we can't do anything about them because they're
Right.
not really under our jurisdiction.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess if that's the word you want to use. It's like we got enough fucking problems,
There's a governor out there. Let him deal with it.
Yeah. We learned,
and that's why there's corruption, and that's why everybody was just doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do. And on the show Deadwood, there's always what's his name? Swearingen is always
Switching.
concerned that the government is going to come in and take over.
Right.
and that's
Those
really-
cocksuckers over in Yankton.
Right, they're gonna that'll put an end to his bullshit.
Woo, sweat.
So we learned Charlie's a pugilist.
Yes,
You got. I mean, it's a quick fight scene. I'm not gonna.
it kicks
Harvard.
a guy's ass.
Yeah, he gets some
You
nice
and I.
liver shots. You and I, and that's a fun line, I guess.
Yeah.
They use it later on.
And now it's the next day, and it's New Year's Day. All is quiet, and they're coming up on the hill, and Terrence
is so
Stamp is
corny.
like, Emilio, go down with your boys.
Yahoo!
And he rides down, and then he witnesses Jack Palance and all them gun down Terrence Stamp.
Yes.
Was he actually there, Murphy?
I don't think Murphy.
Murphy was there. No.
No.
It was the sheriff.
Yeah, it was the
and like a
sheriff.
posse.
Well, in the true facts of this whole movie, Murphy wasn't anywhere because he was dying of cancer.
Yeah.
Is the
And
other guy.
Dolan is the guy
Dolan.
that was like the real shitheel.
Murphy died of cancer. Like, spoiler, he gets shot in the head at the end of the movie.
Right.
In real life, he died of cancer like a month later. But, he's the bad guy for the movie. So now
You know what happened to the other guy, Dolan?
he bought the Rangers.
No, he bought a stake in a Lowenbrow.
Are you for real? Are you for real?
Dolan, you're a genius.
What is this? What is this a
Lowenbrow
reference?
It's a
commercial.
low and brow.
From the
commercial.
80s.
Lowenbrow
don't remember that.
is a beer
I know the beer. Yeah.
that nobody gets ever.
My father's laughing if he heard this.
He's and we are obsessed with this one commercial where
Here's the good friend.
we got to explain it. There's like 6 guys at a steakhouse and it's packed. It's like you might as well be in a nightclub.
Okay.
And they're panicking.
They don't know what to do.
They don't know what to do. They look at their
The waiter
menus.
is there.
The waiter's there.
But fucking Dolan, the
Dolan
hero.
walks in late. He's got
Sits
the
down.
tickets for whatever they're doing that night. He's like, I got the tickets. He doesn't even look at the menu. He goes,
Immediate, the leader energy. He sits down, he brings order to this.
give me the biggest steak you got and a
bottle of
Lowenbrow.
Lowenbrow.
And they go, Dolan,
They close the menu. Dolan,
you're a genius.
you're a genius.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Where you been? Well, it wasn't easy getting tickets for this game.
Hey, Bob.
Eddie, I know exactly what I want. I want the biggest steak you got and a bottle of Lowenbrow. Steak and Lowenbrow. Dolan, you're a genius.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Here's to the chef. Here's to the bartender.
So they're all getting it. And then this greatest song ever plays.
the good
Tonight is kinda special.
I remember the song. Yeah.
Let it be Lowenbrow.
I'm playing the whole commercial.
Yeah. You're getting the commercial.
Dolan,
Dolan,
you're a genius.
And he was.
'Cause, what else do you get at a steakhouse?
Fucking Dolan. So the regulators have to flee,
Yep.
and they get to get
Well,
deputized,
They get deputized by what I thought was Randy Quaid.
which is not.
It's
but they
not.
do a
But
lovely.
it's not even that guy that deputizes them. It's somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought.
I
It's
guess
like
it's like
a-
the marshal.
Yeah,
Okay.
They do
somebody deputizes them.
They do an all-for-one, hands-in team play thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they put their hands on each other. Yay, friends!
Well, you wouldn't do that? Of course you
They're
would.
killers.
No, they're not yet.
They're pals.
Yeah.
They're pals.
Billy's a killer.
Yeah, he's
Man,
like,
this guy's real judgmental.
Yeah, he
Fuck,
is.
what a guy.
Jose's a killer.
I think you're better than everybody.
Jose. I'm saying.
That's his nickname.
Hey, Chivato.
Right? Chivato, that's his nickname, I think.
Chavez, yeah.
And there's another killer. The fucking, the other dude.
They all killed
They're all
somebody in the
killers.
movie, right? But that's the way it was
They're not
back
putting
then.
their hands in the center and going, team. Like,
Why
this
not?
Is not happening.
They could still do that.
It's
Couple
just-
of buddies.
Why?
You could be
We got a
buddies.
mission.
Yeah, you could do that.
It's a blood pact. You wouldn't understand because you don't have any friends.
Yeah, I guess not.
Loner.
Owen
not.
doesn't have any friends.
Owen doesn't have any friends.
Dick.
So they track these people down, and this guy.
What do you mean these people?
Well, they track.
Right, so now their goal is
Charlie
to eliminate
Sheen.
the guys that killed
Yes.
their
Yeah.
boss,
One by one, they're
Tunstall,
hunting down the
Yes.
posse.
and they have the
Tavern.
what is
right?
it called? They have
A badge.
The badge.
badge to do so, right?
There's a tavern with some of the opposite gang members, Murphy's boys, and Charlie Sheen goes, Billy, why don't you go in there and take a look? Go on, Billy. And I've been saying that nonstop.
I like the idea that like there is this rivalry between Dick and Billy,
Because it's Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez.
brothers, and there are times in the
Which
movie
one's
when
older? Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. There are times in the movie when you think that he's putting Billy in harm's way on purpose, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, does he really want him that badly out of this group that he's willing to?
Was
like,
Platoon the same year? I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just thinking about Charlie Sheen
Platoon
now.
was 97.
No way.
I mean,
No.
87, I'm sorry.
Okay. So he was
86,
already
maybe
movie
it's
star.
86,
He was already
86.
movie star.
Emilio's
Oh,
3
yeah.
years
all
older,
of
by
them
the
were
way.
pretty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think most of these were well established at this point.
Yeah, I think
Going
so.
into
People
it.
know who they are.
Yeah.
They're not no names.
This is star stuff.
Right.
Casey Shmashko, 3 O'Clock High, fucking excellent movie.
But yeah, you have a point there where Charlie's
Twice he does
character Dick is always like, yeah, it's either that or like, hey, you have to prove yourself. 'cause
Right,
you're the
or
young
he
guy.
knows that he's the wild guy. He'll do it, you know.
Yeah.
Like he'll
Yeah.
he'll go into this
He's a-
scene. Yeah.
He's also expendable to him. Like
Yeah.
He's a young guy.
he just met Emilio
Right. The
relatively.
other
All
guys are
these
his
guys
friends,
he
yeah.
really likes.
Yeah.
He's like, if Emilio dies, whatever. And it's also Emilio is clearly a hothead who's gonna make more trouble than he's worth.
Right.
So it's like, if Billy dies, it's not the worst outcome for me.
I don't know if he sent him in there to die, though.
I don't think he knows
I
it
don't
at
think he
this
sent
point.
him in there to die, but it's also, if it happens, he's the most expendable guy
I
to
suppose.
dock.
I suppose. If
No,
you're being,
not
if you're
Doc.
being cynical.
Yeah.
Dick.
Dick, sorry.
Eversole.
Yes. So Billy the Kid tracks this guy, Henry Hill, down to the bathroom. His
He
name is
hides
Henry
in
Hill.
the stall.
Yes.
They were gonna find it, Henry. No, they weren't. Named Tom Hill is his real name in real life is Tom Hill.
Oh, it's not Henry Hill. Okay.
Hey, there's a dog there.
Oh, there's a doggo. Hi.
It's a French bulldog.
Hey, socks.
Yeah. It sucks.
All right. No, we're on a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's continue. So, I'll take a beat then because we have to.
We don't have to.
Okay.
We have to rush.
Billy kills Henry
Yes.
Yeah.
in the stall after a nice fart joke,
Yes.
and everyone starts piling out, and a shootout ensues.
Yes.
9 people die.
It's a massacre.
It's a massacre. Clearly, Murphy's guys can't shoot for their lives. It's just, or
They were surprised.
they were just surprised, you know. Yeah.
They were also up against the Young Guns.
up against the young guns.
Regulators!
I also love the sound design in this movie. The gunshots sound fucking loud. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they look like if it hits you, you're done. You know, like that's it.
They gotta be loud because they're going over the electric guitars doing sweet riffs.
Richie Sambora's.
And now they're kind of like half considered outlaws, but not.
Yeah.
Because the public doesn't know yet, but they're going to find out and be outlaws.
Well, because they had the chance to arrest him proper.
Yeah.
and they
And
just
they just
killed him.
murdered him.
Yeah, they
So-
just don't. Yeah.
I
So,
love he sticks the fucking warrant in his mouth. Like
Yeah.
that's another like fuck you. You know.
yeah. And Doc needs that Asian.
Well,
It's got the yellow fever.
He needs Yunsu. So he
Yes.
risks all their lives and goes into town to find her.
Yes.
Wait, this is. What happens first?
I
That
think you're
scene?
skipping a scene.
Yeah, you're skipping. You're,
You're
skipping
skipping
the
when
McCluskey scene.
yeah, so this is a real thing that happened in real life. So they did capture 2 people. And they also have McCluskey, who has really joined recently. And he's like, hey, why don't we go over there, back this way, instead of like where the young guns want to go?
No, that's Doc goes for the Asian first in town because they're setting the trap up to get the two guys.
Okay.
No, it's not a big thing. It's just this is where they add that like romance thing again, and it makes no sense to me. That's why I noted it.
You're right. Yeah, he does. He tracks down the girl.
And then he notices they're
in
turning
the
the
daytime,
corner.
right? I'm thinking about the scene where he
Yeah.
visits her at night. I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
Right, you're right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that because he walks with her, and then while they're in town, they ambush the two guys.
Yes.
And they take them, and now they're debating on where to go, and the two guys are like, they want to go one way, and McCluskey is basically like, hey, let's go with them. Let's go
Oh,
that
yeah.
way. And
He's a
Billy's
traitor.
like, I don't trust
saw
him.
that.
He's a spy.
He's a spy.
So what? I saw what he just did.
And he blows his head off.
Yeah.
And then they kill the two guys.
What's he say after?
What's he say? I don't remember.
Court adjourned.
Oh, great.
Oh, I thought that was badass.
Yeah, judge and jury.
It's
Now,
not badass.
No, that's cool.
that's cool.
Not badass.
you
Now
don't know
this-
what cool is because you don't have any friends.
I'm just not a good outlaw.
Steve's a hater.
When you walk somewhere, you don't get a sweet guitar lick.
Yeah.
You get silence. You can hear a rat piss on cotton when you walk into a room. When I walk into a room, there's a sweet guitar riff going,
That's right. Yeah.
But, so this really happened, and no one knows the full details, but they found all of their bodies had like 30 bullet holes each.
Yeah.
And they shot them to shit. So they suspect that McCluskey was like trying to betray the group, but nobody knows the full details. And they kind of just did their interpretation, but they were all littered with holes.
Yeah.
Right. They got blamed. They did kill the guys, but the history proves that maybe they didn't need to. Like they could have just left with them, but they're like, oh, let's just get rid
It's
of them.
dead weight,
you know?
yeah. So they kill all those dudes, and
And that scene when he shoots McCluskey and the blood flies all over
I thought
Doc's
it was
face.
sick.
Great, you know.
Doc is
very,
constantly getting bloody.
right, poor bastard, right?
Constantly in this.
And he's like I guess I wouldn't say he's a
Sensitive guy.
pacifist of the group, but he's
a sensitive
sort
young
of, they
man.
play him as such, and yet he's the guy that's always getting like fucking brains splattered all over.
he's the lover.
Right.
He's got a sick haircut.
Yeah.
So blonde.
So
Billy makes the papers.
yeah, he reads the paper, and he's like, "Hey,
I'm Billy the Kid
I'm Billy
now."
the Kid. This
But
is
it's
cool."
it's Dick's drawing.
One day, Billy Joel will write a song about me.
Oh, that fucking song.
You
don't
don't like
like that
Billy the
song?
Kid?
I hate that song.
Billy the Kid. Do, do, do.
I remember the first time I heard it. It was on Q1043,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and it was a fucking nightmare.
You never fully recovered, have you?
From a town that lost the bay, Long Island,
A kid,
with a six-pack in his hand. It is pretty corny.
stunning life of crime, made him a legend in his time.
Billy the Kid.
Was that song out when this came out?
Yeah.
Like, why wasn't that used?
That's
so
Wait,
lame.
you're complaining about the cheese in this, and you want them
If
to.
you're gonna go
You want to
cheese,
do the song where Billy Joel compares himself
you're
to
gonna go-
fucking a Western
why not
outlaw.
play this in the credits? If you're gonna go cheese, go cheese.
Nah,
Don't hold back. You already went the full way.
Nah, you're crazy.
He's doing a fucking biography song of Billy the Kid and then puts himself in
Right,
it.
like a suburban
Out of Austin,
fucking
Oyster
commando.
Bay with a six-pack. Yeah.
It is pretty lame.
His weapons, his keys.
Yeah. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride.
Bring
Hey,
us
that's
back.
local hero Bon Jovi. Right?
You know, it's
So
He's married to his son's married to the girl from the show.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, that one.
oh yeah.
Who's hot
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown.
She's got like a head like a fucking football.
yeah, is she hot? I don't know if
I
consider
like her
hot.
vibe. I don't know what it is. I
look at
see
her.
her. I'm like, that's a hot
Yeah,
chick.
you see her dancing around, little hua
Yeah,
underwears and
there
stuff.
you go.
wearing
See?
her.
When she was playing 11.
But I don't think it's sexy because I keep thinking of her as that little kid.
I didn't watch the show, so I'm golden.
Yeah, good.
That's a track.
That makes sense.
I see her as an 11-year-old girl forever.
Trying to be sexy. It's like, put your tits away.
Right. Stop it. You're
Get
a
out of
child.
here with these tits.
She's all British, being
Yeah.
a slag.
A proper twat. I'm sorry.
So
Indian ritual. He paints his face, and they do peyote.
So he needs to find.
He puts on corpse paint. He looks like he's an emperor.
yes.
He uses the peyote to try to give them a direction. He figures like the spirit world's gonna guide their way. Look, it is a superfluous scene.
It's silly.
Yeah.
If at the end of the scene it would have led to something like him saying, "Well, we should do this," and they do it, and then shit happens.
It would have mattered.
It would have mattered.
Now it doesn't.
In retrospect, it really doesn't. It just gives
anything.
these. They
It
probably
breaks tension.
They probably all really got stoned. You know,
Yeah.
knowing
Kiefer
these
Sutherland's
guys.
babbling about butterflies.
But I love the scene. I mean, it's highly quotable. I love that scene where they're riding through the where they see the reservations, and it's really like weird and
We're in the spirit
Oh, why aren't they
world.
killing us?
Yeah.
We're in
and
the spirit
right.
world.
And the one thing that I thought was really cool in that scene, like how the voices are all slowed down, but nothing else is.
Yeah.
So that was a cool little like trick. I don't
Yeah.
know how the fuck they did that.
They just
It's
lower
like
it.
a TikTok video.
They just lower the voice. Like, you lower the voice. And then it
Yeah,
sounds like you're
but
going,
it sounds slow.
it sounds like
too.
you're going slow.
Yeah,
but they're
okay.
not.
Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah.
It was a cool little effect, you know, like to give you the idea. Does Dick take it? Because they
No.
Dick
no,
is
he's
it.
the
Passes
level-headed
it, right?
one.
Yeah, he's good. He passes.
godless
it all.
heathens.
Yeah.
Great line. And it,
You
I
know,
guess-
Charlie Sheen, known for his abstinence.
right? That's the
Right.
guy that wouldn't. Yeah.
He is acting. I mean,
His act.
I'm acting like I'm not
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
stoned.
You're really.
Didn't he rape?
Corey.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Like
Wait,
he
he
molested him.
That's what Corey says.
Corey Feldman?
he
Haim.
raised Corey Feldman or
Yeah.
Haim? Oh,
So-
wow.
Haim.
All of them.
No, Haim. All the Corys.
All of them.
He
Oh,
raped
wow.
all
He
the
raped
Corys.
both Corys.
Yeah, that's
Ascension Millennium.
That's not winning.
That's terrible. I don't like to hear that. You know.
No, but
You know.
if he did it,
Then he blew a tranny and got AIDS. So, you know.
Is that how he got AIDS?
That's what he said.
Wait, what?
From blowing it, you could get it from blowing.
He had
said,
sex with a tranny and got AIDS. That's what he said. I
Wow.
hope I'm not making this up, but that's.
Did he know?
I don't know.
I guess if he blew him,
how
he
would you
knew.
not know?
If you blew him, right,
They
right.
take
right.
their pants off. I think you know what you're getting
Unless it
into.
was just like, just put it in the butt, you know. Anyway, this is going off track.
I want to know about Tiger Blood. Come on.
Supposedly in 2015, he was shaken down by blackmailers who had video of him having sex with a transsexual.
There you go.
And then he said in 2015, this is from the Daily Record UK, this is the headline, I'm not clicking the whole article. Charlie Sheen fears transsexual man he hired gave him HIV.
Jeez.
And then the next article says he spent over $1.6 million a year on prostitutes.
A year?
1 year.
He made that
What's the
doing one
benefit?
episode of that show.
Yeah.
Right. What's if you're a guy of his stature, you know, like celebrity wise and money wise, what's the benefit of a prostitute? Can't you just get
Yeah.
regular girls to blow you?
Yeah, but they won't do what he wants.
I'm gonna
The
shit on
prostitute
you.
will do anything.
What, like have a
Winning.
dick?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You got a dick? Ah, forget it.
like
It
if
also
you can
bears in
get
mind-
anything, you're probably gonna want to go to some
The extremes, right.
That
He-
normal people are not.
He was married to Denise Richards, one of the hottest human beings to ever live.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Sheen, man.
Yeah.
Sheen.
It's Tiger Blood.
she
Tiger
needed a
blood
dick.
cell.
That's why it didn't work
That
out.
was where it went wrong. So
Drugs, man. Drugs.
Sit back and enjoy the show.
So now we get the
They're praying.
well, you know, they kind of get through the whole thing, and
the
now
trip, the whole peyote
Peyotes.
trip.
Buckshot Roberts shows up.
Yeah. Well, that's the real guy. I don't think
Yeah.
he has that name in the movie, right?
He doesn't.
I don't think so.
No, it does.
He
yeah.
does?
It's Buckshot Roberts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Buckshot Roberts, yeah.
So,
I don't got no business with that warrant.
yeah, so
And
he's
son of a
come to,
bitch.
like, kill them.
Yeah.
Just Billy the Kid specifically.
He's
No,
going
he
to kill
came to
them
kill
all.
all.
But they all have bounties.
Well,
on
he
there.
said there's a great line where he's like, he's worth 150. You guys are just worth 110, but I'll take it anyway.
Yeah.
It's like that's not that big of a difference, you know, $40.
It's a big
Who's
deal
this
back
guy?
then, $40.
That's
He's
a big
got
right.
like 2 rifles on him.
Yeah.
Fat old
Fat old, and he puts one down first and goes, "Okay, let's go."
Let's
Yeah.
dance.
And nobody shoots this guy.
what? Right? Like what wouldn't if he?
Because he's scary.
Billy has a
Right, the
drop on
reputation
him.
alone prevents them from shooting.
They know this is a dangerous guy. He's a killer.
Yeah.
He's been doing this a long time. They still know that they're amateurs.
More
compared
reason to
him.
never give him the chance to fucking put the gun down. You
They
know?
all have guns on them.
I agree.
This is
But they
stupid.
were intimidated. They were intimidated in the movie.
Yeah. He's killed more people than smallpox.
Right, yes. The real story here is that the guy who was like loosely associated with the band who killed Tunstall was on his farm, which these guys just happened to
Wait,
camp
was it a
next
farm
to.
or was it a ranch?
It might have been a ranch, actually.
Be fucking careful.
He was trying to get the fuck out of town because he didn't want no part of any of this. So he was selling his property and literally waiting for the guy buying his place to come deliver the check. But these guys came to have lunch right next to his property,
Now I gotta take him
and they
out.
ended up running into each other.
Oh, wow.
So he, they get in a gunfight. He wasn't a bounty hunter.
Right.
Yeah.
They get in a gunfight. He runs into the outhouse, and they just riddle it with bullets, and he ends up getting killed.
There you go.
But he does take one of them with him.
He took out one.
Yeah.
Well, he severely wounded John Middleton.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he does some damage.
Yeah, he killed Doc. Doc got grazed,
Yeah.
and George Coe
In the
got-
movie.
in
Or
real life.
in real life. Okay.
And George Coe got hit in the right hand.
Yeah.
I don't think George is in the
Yeah,
movie.
there's in
But he-
real life, there's like 14 or 15 regulators
Yeah.
in the movie. They
Yeah.
narrowed it down to the.
And he damaged a few of them, but he didn't kill any in real life.
No, he did.
Who he didn't? Who didn't he
Who'd he
kill?
kill?
Dick?
He
Didn't
killed
Yeah,
Dick
he
in real
killed
Yeah, he
life?
killed Dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so what happens is they riddled him with shots. They end up running away. The regulators actually sent a doctor to the area the next day, and they found him dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
In this, they're just like, no, he's so good, we gotta run. And we
Yeah.
can't penetrate the outhouse. That was one of the problem I had with this. It would have been better to show him dead.
to show him dead, right?
Because it's
he
like now
did
it's
die,
now
but
it's like this invincible old man with rifles.
I will say
Like, it just wasn't done well.
I will say I did think that he was going to come back at the end and have like a final showdown with Emilio.
I just always assumed they did kill him because they shoot that thing up pretty well, you know.
Yeah, but when they
He's
shoot
fat.
it at first, and then the rifle comes through and kills
Right.
Dick because they
Right.
already shot him.
Right.
So it's like, oh, he lived.
But then they
through
do.
this.
Then they go through with it
Again, yeah.
They attack it again. So I assume they got him at some point. You know. It's unclear.
Yeah,
though.
it's
It is
unclear. I don't
unclear,
like
right.
that because it's like they
I
should have at
agree.
least shown him dead and be
Right.
like, all right, let's
Falling out of the
yeah.
fucking.
Like I said, you cut
thing or
out that peyote scene, you could clear up a lot of problems I had with this movie
Mm-hmm.
just with that extra time to just show him dead. Show him dead.
I mean, they didn't even.
Show that
I mean,
they
the
killed an
movie's
old
not
man.
that long. They could have just had that in anyway.
Yeah.
It's
Right, yeah.
It's not. The movie's like what 90
Right.
minutes long. It's not that long.
See, he agrees with me.
They should have shown him die.
I do.
I just think it would have been satisfying as a viewer that like you're rooting for these guys.
Right.
He just kills their foreman.
Yeah.
And then you don't see him get killed. Like it's a little
I agree.
unsatisfying.
Yeah, I thought that narratively, because you're like, if you're thinking of this just as a movie, you're introducing this unstoppable foe who's like
Right.
a super badass. I'm expecting Emilio at the end is going to overcome him.
Right. No,
You
they
know,
got him.
and he just never.
Yeah.
You don't know what happens to him. He's just gone. So it's kind of silly. In real life, I mean, Roberts is actually badass because he successfully chased off the
Yeah,
regulators.
by himself.
Yeah.
It could also be maybe the point of that whole scene was that even though they killed him, they still lost that battle, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's maybe that's what it is. You're not supposed to feel satisfied because they, all these guys got shot. They killed Dick.
Sheen just dies. Yeah.
This is the scene where he goes to visit the Asian girl. After
Yes.
that's what I.
Well,
thought you were
yeah, he
referring to
leaves
earlier.
the regulators to go write a letter to tell Dick's mother that he's dead because she lives in Vermont or something, and he has to get like bandages for his wound. So they part briefly, and that's also when he goes
That's
to see
when he,
her. Yeah,
and he tells him don't go back to Lincoln, and he does because of
does.
that Asian pussy,
which is like, and he's not even like they met like
which I heard
once
goes
and a
the
half.
other way.
Sideways.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone knows this. Yeah.
What a dumb joke, but a great.
It's
joke.
hilarious.
It doesn't even make sense.
It's
like,
such a
why?
1940s guy joke. Like, because no one has ever seen one.
But like, just because
Well,
the
it's
eyes
exotic.
are slanted, why would that have to do with the shape of the vagina? You know, it doesn't even make sense. So great. I love jokes like that. Stupid, stupid jokes.
Well, now we get
You ever hear of the 60-second orgasm? You got a minute?
Now you need a Lowenbrow.
Yeah.
You crack open a Lowenbrow.
Ed's pulling a Dolan right now.
Aunt G, you're a genius. So now we get the backstory of Lou Diamond Phillips, where he talks about the Red Sand Creek
Massacre.
or whatever.
reservation.
Is that a real thing?
The Sand Creek Massacre is. I'm wondering if that's what he's referring to.
Yes,
It has to.
that's what he's referring to. So this was a real thing. The Army's cavalry raided an encampment, and I think 75% of the encampment was women and children, and they slaughtered everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Very bad.
This is pretty weird, just looking at Wikipedia. There were between 70 and 600 killed.
It's probably the
Jeez.
worst Indian
Yeah.
massacre, the worst crime.
But between,
That's a big
between
gap.
70 and 600 is pretty
Numbers are not known.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
And purposely not known.
November 29th, 1864. So we don't really know you don't know the details offhand, Ant?
Off the top of my head, no. I'd have to look into it.
Okay. Long story short, as per usual, Indians got massacred.
Yeah.
Right, but Chavez, I mean, you would think that would make Chavez want to go and get these guys, but he's like, he just wants to, at this point, give up.
Well, he did, and he's like...
Well, he's got this idea of preserving the race.
Right.
It's
He's the
all-
last one left
Yeah.
of his tribe, or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
it's also... Tunstall taught him another way, taught him, not
Man
to
of
seek revenge.
peace now.
Yeah, to change.
And Billy questions his,
24-year-old Tunstall, who was very wise.
Well, 24 was 50 back then.
Right.
They were dying
I mean, you
quick.
see Billy the Kid's picture?
Yeah, they were dying quick. This scene is also it's well done. I feel like it was a little long. It gives a lot of depth to Chavez's character, but right before that, you have Billy filing down his sight, and he goes, "I get an eighth of a second drop
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
on him and that's when I was like, oh, he's gonna come back."
Yeah.
And it was like, oh no, he doesn't. And have you ever seen professional shooters?
No.
Like actual gunslinging shooters?
No,
They don't fire straight. They fire from their hip.
Right.
Like
okay.
fast
Right, right,
shooters,
right.
like if you ever see professional
Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah, they'll lean back.
Like Grayson?
like Grayson. No, better than Grayson. They'll lean back
That's the guy that shot you?
and they'll shoot.
friend?
They'll shoot from their hip. Like that's what they were
Right,
probably
yeah.
doing. That's what Billy probably would have been going for.
Oh, yeah.
Not
the quick draw.
putting up.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it gives me an eighth of a second. You don't know.
Right. Well,
That's
the idea
stupid.
is if the file's not there, it's not going to catch on
Yeah.
his
And a lot of times, what you'll do if you ever see
Make sure the onions don't touch the tomato.
a revolver,
Mm-hmm.
you have when you're shooting, you pull the trigger, then you cock the handle back at the same time, so it's like pop, 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 pop. So it's really like speed shooting. So he's filing this down to get an eighth of a second, when reality is you're just pulling it out and just putting as many bullets forward as you can. That's probably more effective than what he would have been doing, with the pistol.
So do you think that was like a bullshit thing?
Kind of,
Filing
yeah.
it
I
down?
don't think it's going to give you a better
You think
drop.
everything's
It's going to
bullshit.
give you a little more sight, but it's not going to give you a faster draw.
Gotcha.
Like, it makes no sense.
Again, I always thought it was because he didn't want it to catch on the holster.
I thought it was the
So,
trigger
to-
pull.
So
I thought he was
no, he filed
adjusting
down
the
his
trigger
sight.
Sight. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because the sight is on the end.
Because the sight's
if
big,
it catches
so
on
you have
the
to
thing.
line it up. You have to put it like this, but if it's half, you only have to go up here. So
Ah.
that makes no sense compared to just pulling it out and shooting forward, and whatever bullets hit.
Right.
Shoot from the hip, right?
Yeah.
That's
From the hip. That's what it is. Yeah.
Do you remember that video game, the arcade game I was playing at Dave and Buster's that one year where it was like the gun is in a holster that you stand next to and you whip it out and you have to quick draw and
That's
shit?
awesome.
No, that's cool.
It was fucking
That's
sick.
awesome.
It was like the best arcade
You
game I ever
wear
played.
it has a holster that you wear.
You stand next to it.
Oh, okay.
And it's
That's cool.
it's
I've
low.
seen it before,
And
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
pull it out, yeah.
I was reading in my Rick Atkinson book last night about soldiers scoring their musket balls with a knife so that when they, on impact, they'll shatter and make insane wounds.
Well, it's hollow points, right?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Like shotguns.
No, not like
No,
the
it's-
shock
no.
is literally like when they hit, they
shatter.
explode,
Okay.
they shatter.
It's like a hollow point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when the bullet hits and it's hollow, it shatters. So hollow points fragment on impact.
Yeah.
Less evidence.
Oh my god, I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
So basically, they tell the Native American guy, they're like, "We're your family now."
Chavez.
Yeah, we're your
The
family.
Native American guy. You can't
got
even
a
call him
name.
Lou Diamond Phillips.
3 or 4 guys, that's your tribe. We're your tribe now.
Yeah.
All you need is a couple
I
of
cringed.
Pals.
I cringed.
Pals,
Nah,
bro.
what's wrong with you? You're
Yeah, you want to let Young Guns into your heart, man.
Yeah.
I can't.
So Sutherland tries to take the girl away, and she's like, "No, I have to stay here." And she won't go with him. He's like, "All right, fine."
In China, girl, not welcome.
And I like that.
No, if it was that, it would have made sense. But she speaks with a perfect American accent.
She could have been. She could have been born there.
Yeah,
At that point in time, she could have been born in America.
yeah, it could. Yeah, it
when
could
they
have
She's
been
talking
one-
about in China.
She literally
Well, her
said in
parents
China,
probably
girls are
told
not
her the
welcome.
policy, you know. We came here so we didn't have to kill you.
That's why you're alive. Because if we were in China, you.
wasn't
bye.
that girl-
Which, by the way, that wasn't a policy
That
in like
wasn't.
1830s
Yeah.
China.
It was like
They're
the
dealing with the
90s.
century of humiliation. They got all this shit going on.
That's like the 1990s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 80s politics making its way into
the
the script.
Dowager Empress wasn't doing that.
Yeah, they're like, what did dumb Americans know about China? Oh, they kill female babies.
Tiananmen Square, that just happened.
And then my father was protester. You know, they got big
He was
horses.
run over by tanks.
not tanks, horses.
Metal horses.
Yeah. So they walk into the town and they just start kicking ass, the Young Guns,
Thank you.
and they just start fucking everybody up, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that happened. Well, Billy like assassinates the
He kills the sheriff.
Great,
Yeah.
which
Great scene.
did happen.
Yes.
Like, but it was like the gang attacked the town. It wasn't like he just snuck up behind him like he does.
Well, that's kind of what they do in
I
this.
guess so. Yeah.
He didn't say reap the whirlwind, reap it.
No, that's kind of sick though.
That's a good
You
line.
sow the wind, you reap the world.
That's a good line.
Yeah, he's quoting the Bible.
I'll give him that one. That one. And I also like this scene because they redo the famous picture.
Oh,
Billy,
yeah.
Billy with the rifle, kind of like little Shaggy, and it's good.
Now he's a hot Emilio Estevez.
And then it cuts to them meeting up with McSween, and he
Everyone's
gives him the
home.
photo as a gift. This is for you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Everyone's
you
hunting him.
asshole. You know, what do I want this shit for? Now you're a debt. Now you're a wanted man. They revoked your what was it called? Sheriffship
Deputy,
or whatever the fuck it's called. And now there's nothing I could do to really save you.
You're
guys,
going
you
around
know?
just killing everybody. Like, you're a problem.
And then he goes, "No, the problem's the bankers."
Right.
Man.
But I mean, the idea.
Caught that?
The idea is the corruption, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like now maybe if I make enough noise down here, the president will pay attention, and they could come down and maybe squash some of this corruption here.
Because they're the problem, not the guys going around murdering everyone.
But there is corruption. I mean, it's like a domino effect, right? Like
Yeah.
one thing leads
Of
to
course.
the next.
I mean, yeah, you have the government giving contracts to one farm and not another. Obviously, that's going to destabilize fair competition, which will lead to,
Every damn
something
time
like
it's the
this.
same
Which is what
damn
Tunstall
thing.
says at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a store, I've got a store. You
Yeah.
want to make money, I want to make money.
Yeah.
It's fair.
It's fair competition, but
Same shit, different day.
that guy doesn't want it. So, where are we? Oh,
There's a whirlwind when you're in it. You can't get out.
So then they try to go to Mexico and they don't. And then
Well, they do go to Mexico.
Yes.
They
Yeah, Charlie,
finally
so.
do
Yeah.
it. He wants to get some of that pussy.
yes,
Right.
that guy's like, I have one thing I want to do. I gotta bang.
this
But he
little
doesn't.
Mexican woman,
No, he doesn't.
he just gets
Well,
married.
that's what he tells his boys.
Right.
He says,
You can't tell your boys like I just
wanna
want to
go
go
hold a
And get a
hold
hug.
a woman
Right.
and like get a hug and like
Yeah.
and express my feelings.
Oh, that's right. They
Everyone
go
will
get
call you gay.
prostitutes.
You
Yeah.
have to just
Yeah,
be like, I
yeah.
gotta go bang someone.
bang,
You're-
yeah.
They'll be like, oh, okay.
Right.
And that's when we get this very cool bar scene.
Oh, you like this scene?
Yeah, I could give it credit. I'm not gonna say,
Right. So while
redeems
Charlie,
the movie, but
while Charlie is up with the prostitute getting his hugs,
Yes.
Billy and the gang are hanging out in this saloon. I guess it's the part of the brothel, and they encounter a bounty hunter
Yes.
who is now starts to brag about
The
how-
worst bounty hunter ever.
not very aware of like what's going on.
But
You
to
know?
be fair,
He had the girl on his lap. He was horny, probably.
he's bragging. He's trying to get laid. He's trying to look good.
Right.
His picture has just been taken. He doesn't know what Billy the Kid looks like.
Right.
So he just sees some young buck in a bar. It's such a stretch to assume you happen to be in the same bar as
Is
Billy
it?
the Kid.
No,
He's
Billy the
looking
Kid.
for him. He knows where he's in the area.
But he's also Billy's not where he should be. I mean, if you're hiding,
I
you don't
suppose.
go to the place where people are looking for you, right?
You're missing an important detail here.
What's that?
Dick looks at the newspaper and it says Billy the Kid
Oh, he looks. Oh, you're right.
is wanted,
it's him.
and it's Dick's picture.
Right.
think he
brought
looks
that
like
up.
Charlie.
Brian
So the
brought that up.
bounty hunter is looking for Dick.
Oh,
He's not
okay.
looking for Billy.
You're right.
Right. But I guess you meant the photo that he takes,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
get published.
Right.
He just
Yeah.
gives it to his friend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But people don't know.
All right. So,
Who
They
Billy
think
the
he-
Kid
they
is,
think it's
yeah.
but
Dick
still, you're a
still,
pretty
right.
shitty bounty hunter if you're telling everyone what you're doing.
Right. That's because
Like,
he's like
yeah.
trying to brag in front of this chick.
Yeah.
Right.
He's trying to get laid.
Yeah.
And he's I mean, it's a great scene. He's telling Billy, unbeknownst to him, what he's gonna do and what to look for, basically describing Billy, and now he throws it in his face, and he does those things that the guy says. Well, he whistles a sad tune. Billy does that. He, and he's basically mocking him. And I love the scene. Can I
see the
gun
gun?
that's gonna kill Billy the Kid?
Yeah.
That's the gun that killed Ed Rollins.
Yeah, can I hold it? And he holds it, he's looking at it, and then it sets it up so well. And, then he's like, hey, I'm Billy the Kid. And
I want everyone to know that the gun that shot Buford Tannen was a cult peacemaker.
yeah. So then he pulls the gun, and Billy took the bullets out when he was looking at it. And then he just blows this guy away.
Right.
And it's pretty fucking cool.
good.
But I do got to say something, Steve. You kind of bothered me when you said bounty hunters shouldn't brag about, their work.
Yeah, if you're hunting someone, how do you
Dog
know?
the Bounty Hunter had
a TV show.
for years.
Yeah.
And he was a successful bounty hunter.
He also wasn't very inconspicuous.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
blonde mullet.
Can I tell you
6'3",
something?
blonde mullet,
For some reason, my TV
racist.
is set to a yeah, that's true. My TV is set to a default where every time it turns on,
It plays the
it
dog. the bounty
automatically
hunter theme.
goes to it automatically goes to a Dog the Bounty Hunter channel.
What?
For real?
Whenever I turn my TV on, I don't know how this happens on Pluto or whatever. I hit power on my TV. It is always Dog the Bounty Hunter.
The universe is telling you to do it. Oh, what'd you do?
You gotta watch dog.
Oh, that's Get Him. Get Him programmed your TV.
It was him?
He just smiled.
He programmed it. It's set to Dog the Bounty Hunter for months.
I'm the dog. Did you do that?
Yes.
Get in here.
How's it possible?
Get him. Get in here.
No, you're not allowed to know how he did it.
Like he can't hear me.
He knows. He knows what he did. So yeah, it's just been Dog the Bounty Hunter for months. I want to show my daughter a movie on Disney Channel. We got to get through Dog.
Maybe she's the one that did it. She wants to watch Dog.
It ain't her.
So in real life, what happened was Billy didn't take the bullets out. He set the gun so the empty chamber would be the next one. So when he turned his back, the guy actually tried to shoot him, and he heard the click of no bullet, and then Billy shot him. That's what happened in real life, which would have been cool in the movie too. You know?
Yeah.
Either way.
That's actually more death-defying.
That's
It
to
is,
turn
yeah.
your back. Yeah, because what if this guy checks
Right,
and spins
right.
it? Yeah.
Or just does the
Or
quick
did the
clap.
click, click, clack.
You know what though? To shoot Billy from behind is a pretty
Cowardly.
bitch move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy blows him away. I thought it was Sam Neill. It's not. I think everybody is Randy
Sam Neill,
Quaid or
yeah.
Sam Neill. Yeah.
Ellie, the door locks.
I promise we'll pick one with Sam Neill soon. Or
Yeah,
Quaid.
we'll do Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's gonna be 100 versus 5.
It's good odds.
And I love Billy the Kid. He's like, you gotta test yourself every day, because if you don't, you get old and fat. I was like, I should have seen this years ago, and I should have been testing myself,
Yeah,
and I
you've been
became
tested.
this grotesque fucking
Right.
creature.
It's
I
not
am.
too late.
You've been
Brian.
living high on the hog.
Yeah. I gotta test myself every day.
Yeah.
I gotta go pick some fights with strangers.
It's 100 against 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's John Kinney. John Kinney's here.
Right. So at this point, they go back to the house. They're at Alex's
Yes.
Because they meet Pat Garrett.
And he tells them, hey, they're coming to kill
It's
your
like
friend.
Right, they're gonna go kill your friend tomorrow or whenever it was. Like you gotta, he basically gives him a warning. At this point, Pat Garrett isn't the sheriff. He even they bring that up too. It's like I'm not a sheriff yet. So I don't know if in real life they were setting he was supposed to be setting a trap for him, or if he was real friends. Because in the second movie, like I said, he's in it.
Yeah.
He's a big part of the second movie.
They had some sort of accordance with each other.
Right.
Like in every Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett story, they have some sort of friendly like thing.
Frenemies.
Yeah. Where it's like I have to come for you.
It's like Odo and Quark.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. It's like I gotta bust you, but I do like you.
Yeah.
And I like the scene where this. I know Steve is gonna absolutely hate this, but I love it. Billy the Kid is like writing a letter of surrender, and he's reading it, and Kiefer
taking a
Sutherland's
bath.
writing it, and then he's like,
As men do.
about how he's gonna surrender, and then the punchline is, "P.S. I changed my mind. You can kiss my ass."
What a waste of time.
I know Steve hated that; it was cringing.
This whole sequence was rough.
The MMA fight, real quick. The MMA
Remind me
fighter.
when those two cowboys shot that rabbit. They said the same thing. Kiss my ass.
Smells like a pile of bullshit.
MMA fight.
Yeah. So this
Yeah, what are you
MMA
talking
fighter,
about?
Chael Sonnen,
Oh.
he used to do like these almost WWE style promos, but he's my favorite fighter ever. He would just talk so much shit. And he got busted for like steroids or something like that, some sort of controversy. And he wrote this whole thing about how he was sorry for all his actions. And it was long. It was just like the letter in Young Guns. And then his follow-up tweet was, "P.S. I lied. You can kiss my ass." And he completely stole it from Young Guns. So it just brought me back. It made me smile a little.
So I guess like their goal, like Billy wants to go guns blazing, but
Yeah.
they're like, no, we're going to Mexico.
Right.
I was like, well, I'll go with you guys. And like, fuck, we can't get rid of Billy.
No, not just that. Well, he's like, Mexico isn't even
It's
tougher
harder.
than that.
Yeah, let's try it. That's
Sounds
harder.
good to me. He looks at it as a challenge. Like,
Yeah.
challenge yourself every day.
And I guess they get to a town in between, and Charlie gets married in like a day.
The town is where they meet Pat Garrett. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a border town. Like I don't know why Pat Garrett's there. Like they never really explain that, or maybe after 30-something years of watching this movie, I just never caught it. But they don't really explain like why he's there.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was invited to the wedding. Like because they were sort of friendly.
Well, I think it's more coincidence. He happens to be there and had heard some stuff. That's how I took it.
That's what I
This
thought.
is also just kind of a bad way to show passage of time, if any, because Charlie gets married to a random girl.
Who's Charlie?
Charlie Beaudry.
Oh.
The guy who gets
pugilist.
married to
I thought
the
you meant Sheen.
pugilist. No. Charlie gets married, and I was confused. I'm like, what is happening? Because it's like, and then they have a wedding.
That's what they did back then.
Yeah.
But then it's like
Weirdo shit.
when they leave, it's
If
like
you're
you
gonna
got to
bang-
stay behind. You have a wife. It's like you knew her for 2 days. What is going on?
That's just how it was.
They're
back
trying to
then,
give him a
though,
chance
you know?
at life. It's
Yeah.
like, look,
Right.
back then, a lot of times, if you want to bang someone who's not a prostitute,
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
you're
marry
marrying
them,
them.
right.
It's like, why did Charlie Chaplin have like 18 wives? Yeah, a lot of them were underage girls too. But he had 18 wives because it's like, you want to bang someone, that's what you do.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, sure.
No, that's just.
I'm not against that, but it's just the pacing just didn't feel good.
I
How
think
come you
this
don't get
fits.
mad
It's
when
wrong.
It seems like they
When Heath
rushed
Ledger
that.
gets married in The
They rushed
Patriot.
that.
And what?
How come you don't get mad when Heath Ledger gets married in The Patriot?
Because they actually built an entire story of them knowing each other as children and friends, and actually
Yeah,
showing
but even-
multiple scenes of them getting to know each other.
Right,
How
but
come you
even
don't
in
get mad in The
Braveheart-
Searchers when he marries the Indian?
Probably
What?
never seen the search.
I never
No,
seen
you
the
suck.
Searchers. Yeah, sorry. I probably wouldn't like
I
it.
just think again, I just think that's the way it was back then.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course.
I don't
it's-
think
our
it's-
sensibilities are like that's fucking insane. What is this guy doing? But back then, it's
just
Yeah.
filmmaking wise though. At least show like a montage, maybe of them spending time in the
But they're
town.
not spending that much time.
Right.
Just to
don't care.
at least
That's the point.
add to the narrative. So I'm like not like what is happening.
no, because you would have been like, what the fuck is this romance in
Yeah.
the middle? You wouldn't have liked. You don't like anything.
I
Steve.
wouldn't like it.
The second the movie started and he heard the winnow, he was like, I
was
hate
out.
this. Yeah, he was done.
No, because I like some scenes. It's just this just felt rushed. That's
All right, we got the finale.
Yeah.
Enough of this bullshit.
Right, so
Go to the
Pac Garrett,
house.
the reason why they don't go to Mexico is Pac Garrett tells them they're going to go kill McSween. You got to go, whatever, go save him. So they go back to Lincoln County. They go to Alex's house to kind of warn him, like, let's get out of here. And just as they arrive, the cavalry arrives.
Yep.
John Kinney.
Yeah. John Kinney.
I don't know who that is. Was
A
he
real
Was he
guy?
around earlier in the
This
movie?
this was a gang leader,
Right.
He used to be in the army, and then he like led some ranchers or gangs or something like that, and I think he killed like 2 people.
Okay.
But they make him out to be like the devil,
Like, we're scared of this guy.
but they don't explain it.
Yeah.
It's just not-
So I thought like he was earlier in the movie, and I just didn't remember.
No, but I never,
Yeah.
I always just thought, like, once,
He's a badass.
Right, once their reaction lets you know, like, oh, this guy has a reputation. That's
Right.
all you got to
He's
know.
just
you
not-
know?
He's a
done
famous
well.
outlaw.
Nah, that was fine.
Badass cowboy living in the cowboy days.
Think he could back well, Batman.
Yeah, John Kinney is a badass outlaw who formed the John Kinney gang.
Oh, okay.
He killed like 2 people or something like that. At least that's what that says, but he probably killed more, or at least ordered more.
Right.
He was in the U.S. Army in the Spanish-American War. Then he was a miner. He's not someone I'd want to fuck with. That's the bottom line.
No, definitely not.
Probably very angry.
Yeah. So they have a big shootout,
Yes.
and the young guns seem pretty fucked.
Yes. They set the house on fire.
Yeah,
One would think.
and they end up telling the girl. They let
Oh, they let the wife out,
the wife leave,
Yeah.
which
is-
did happen in real life.
So in real life, they're in the house for like 5 days. They'll
Yeah.
hold up.
Yeah.
The movie is one night, but they had like the wife and they had like 5 kids there. They let them all out.
Yeah.
In the movie, it's just her, which I don't know why you wouldn't add the kids. I think that would raise stakes. But
They didn't have
what-
kids in
They
the
don't want
movie.
to pay.
Yeah, you
they don't
didn't
want to
need
pay
to-
the actors.
Yeah, I guess
Right.
Kids are a pain in the ass
Yeah.
on set, you know.
Never work with children or animals.
So they end up.
Then you got to have a teacher on set,
Yeah.
a fucking nanny, and all that crap.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. So they get out, and it's like, how are the young guns gonna get out of this? And I don't understand how Lou Diamond Phillips gets the horses.
This
I don't
whole
either.
thing- this whole
Sneaky
thing
Navajo
sucks.
ways.
Yeah.
Whole
you know?
thing sucks.
No.
It just does.
They make it seem like he left them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. My one gripe is how the hell did he? They're surrounded. How did he get out of
I
there?
don't
and get
know.
the horses?
Surrounded with the house on fire.
Again, I always chalked it up to him being a Navajo tracker
Yeah.
type guy, and he could do things like
He
that.
like,
He gets powers.
Yeah.
he took the peyote and he flew,
He can
flew
walk through
out.
flames.
But yeah, as this is all happening, you know, you got Murphy who's leading this cavalry, but then the army shows up, and Murphy now he's like, "What are you doing here?" Like, because now he's not in control so much anymore, and now they may be on.
He's still barking out orders though.
Right, he is, and also the army is also. I guess you find out they're sort of corrupt as well, but when they show up, he doesn't like that. Because he's like, oh, he doesn't want them to know what's going on back in, you know, whatever. He doesn't want the president to know
Looks bad on
what's
him.
happening, right? So if he could keep it contained,
Right.
and they could do it themselves with his brigands, great. But now the army shows up, and things escalate. Obviously, the army has no problem with murdering, straight up murdering a guy with a Gatling gun, like. Terrible, but anyway.
It's pretty fucking cool though. To just park a Gatling gun outside.
Don't forget Yen. Yen runs into the building.
That's right.
That's
As
right.
Murphy
Yeah.
goes, China!
China! Yen! Yen soon!
So they end up out of nowhere. Some boxes are thrown out of the window.
Crates. It's a chest.
Crates and
Yeah, they're
chests.
throwing out all the stuff to try to
Yeah.
call the fire.
The worst sequence ever.
And,
Nah, this was cool.
What are you talking
and you're like,
about?
what's going on? And then Emilio pops out of one,
Just starts fucking blasting.
and they're blasted. And it's fucking sick.
You didn't like this.
They're surrounded by like 50 men with guns drawn.
They die. I mean, they don't win, so it's not, you know.
They
I mean, I guess
escape.
they
They
kind of
escape.
They escape.
Some
So
of
did
them
the real
do, right?
guys.
Some of them
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I know.
Some get killed,
But
some escape.
They set it up that they're completely surrounded with guns drawn.
They
didn't
were.
set it. Yeah, but they didn't set up where it's like, okay, there's a barricade and there's distance between the house. They set it up where
God,
they're
he
surrounded.
Wants
like
to know the fucking
but
logistics.
one of the guy Alex runs out the front, the exact same spot where Billy landed, and gets killed by a Gatling gun. Why wasn't Billy killed by the Gatling
'Cause he
gun?
was
It makes
blasting.
no sense.
Because
It makes no
the
sense.
element of surprise.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. When Billy lands and he opens the trunk, that's when the other guys come out of the door too. So like it kind of all happens at once. So maybe they were just
Maybe.
the gun wasn't ready yet.
Then the
'cause you see
horses
them,
come by.
right. You see them setting up the Gatling gun at that point. So
But that's not the only gun. There's like 50 guys.
But
the army's there.
But they're getting shot.
It's an entire army. Oh, well, not an entire troop.
People didn't shoot very well back then, I guess. It's like
No!
stormtrooper.
They're trained guys. They're all shooters.
I don't
It
know.
makes no sense. They just did it. It's just not good.
But it happened. I mean, this is how it happened. The only thing that didn't happen is him killing Murphy the way he did.
Yeah.
That was false. No, Murphy wasn't even there. But other than that, like all this other shit did. I don't know. Not dropping out of the fucking thing in the trunk.
Yeah.
Regulators! Horses jump over the cavalry guys
right.
who are just like, oh, we can't shoot this guy. Come on. That's just dumb.
It's a movie, man.
I know, but like I
was
said,
stunned.
one of my main problems was that they're relying so much on the suspense of disbelief, the way they set it up. They just didn't take a step back to be like, why are we doing this? They just did it to do it. And like, it works sometimes, but not when you overdo it like that. I hate when movies do that. That's just my personal thing. That's all.
Yeah. So just looking up the real thing, how they got away.
Yeah.
By 9 p.m., those left inside got set to flee out the back door of the burning house. Billy the Kid and Jim French assessed the situation and figured out a way to escape by using pistol fire as cover and escaping. It's basically what happened in the movie.
At nighttime.
Jim
At
French
nighttime,
went
right.
out first,
Which
followed
makes
by
a
Billy the
difference.
Kid.
This was in the broad daylight in the movie.
They were probably hiding behind things.
Yeah.
Right.
But
They
they used
used the cover of night.
and they used pistol fire to escape.
Yeah.
They saved some money on the production budget.
They got a
Overall-
sick crate throw.
Yeah.
Come on.
By the way, I don't know how the crate got out there because he was inside. Who threw it? It doesn't make sense.
How come he wasn't rattled by it? He was just able to just
Pop out. Yeah.
Adrenaline.
How come
Yeah.
the crate didn't open?
He had to hurt himself.
He did get lucky it fell the right way. If it's upside down and he can't get out,
Get out.
If it was a
Just
fridge, he
blasted.
could have survived an atomic blast.
that's true. Like Indy.
Yes.
And yeah, they ride away, and everyone thinks he's gone. And then Billy the Kid comes back. He takes aim with his whittled down sight, and he blasts Jack Palance in the
Reap
head.
it, son of a bitch.
Right between the eyes.
Yeah, it's great.
No more
Satisfying.
happy pirate.
He sucked.
Nah,
Sucked? You're crazy.
nah, it's awesome. He killed him, and he rides out.
You get a
and
voiceover
we
by
have
Doc
voiceover
wrapping things up
about
sort
what
of.
happens to everybody.
Yeah. And somehow, I guess Charlie died, and Alex and the rest of the other three guys survived.
They go on a daring
Well,
life of
three
crime. Made
three
him a
guys
legend in his time.
survived. Just Chavez,
East and west of the river.
Billy, and Doc.
Doc.
And the other guys that get killed.
Right.
And what's his name Charlie gets killed taking out John Kinney, which is cool. The guy that he was so
Yeah.
afraid of.
Yeah, the guy he feared, and
Yeah.
he says the "you and I" line.
He
and-
challenged him.
Yeah, he
That
challenged.
was
And he
cool.
won.
Challenged
He
himself.
overcame his fear, but he died doing it. It has good parts. What do we rate this?
7.
Okay. I go 5. It's not like impossibly bad. It's just I probably wouldn't watch this again.
Brain? Brain's gonna give it an 8.
My heart says 8. I'm gonna go 8.
Yeah,
Fuck
if
it.
your heart says 8.
Yeah, I was thinking 7.5, but I was like, I'm gonna go 8. Fuck it, I liked it.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
Give it-
So it's not fair. And again, I've been watching it since
by all
since
means.
it
It's
fucking came
yeah.
out.
We all gave Braveheart a perfect score.
Yeah.
Which was wrong.
Yeah, it's completely wrong.
I would say 8.5.
Okay.
Wow.
8.5.
You're a
guys
You're a
are
hard grade. If it's one of your favorites.
Well, because I'm trying to, and then I'm thinking about other movies of the ilk that I really like,
Yeah.
like something like Unforgiven,
Yeah,
and it's not
sure.
the masterpiece that Unforgiven is,
The Duck of Death.
Do you like Young Guns too?
I love it.
Okay, is it better or just as good?
I think they're different, even stylistically. That weird score is not there. Like they have a traditional sort
really?
of score. It gets
That's a
into
shame.
some of the outlaw aspects, I think, a little more. I like both of them. The second one is that scene where I jerked off. So that
That
Close to your
raises
heart.
points,
bumps
yeah.
it up a little. But I think the first one, I mean, it's the first one. You know, it holds a special place in my heart. But I do love both of them. Same director that did The Principal with Jimmy Belushi, and I fucking love that movie too. Christopher Cain.
A Jim Belushi.
James
Oh, wow.
Belushi. Sorry, The Principal. You guys never saw that?
I never saw it. No.
With Louis Gossett Jr. and come on, guys,
The Principal.
watch. I mean, it's not based on any true story, so
Yeah,
you're not going to cover it on the
That's
show.
fine.
But it is a great '80s. It's basically like a Lean on Me substitute
Right.
type movie.
Okay.
But Jim Belushi's great.
Is it a comedy or is it serious?
I mean, it's as serious as a movie like that could be. You know,
What was the
Ray Don
movie-
Chong, Lou
Okay.
Gossett Jr., Jim Belushi, S.I. Morales is great. You know, good cast.
It's free on Tubi.
Boys are Crush.
Excellent movie. I'm telling you. I got stoned maybe last summer. I watched it. Fucking loved it.
You ever watch the movie where Jim Belushi like gets to redo his high school life and
No,
changes?
Mr. Destiny.
Yeah,
I never saw that
yeah.
one. I'm a Jim Belushi fan, so I
Okay.
can't really knock him. You know, I do like a lot of his stuff.
Where are you at with Blues Brothers?
Love it. I saw you guys. I saw something come up on my feed today about you guys.
By the way,
Blues Brothers isn't funny or something like that.
That's those two.
We are not fans, but
you
we've
guys.
lost
Assholes.
control of the Discord because all morning they've just been sending Blues Brothers shit.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, they hate us.
Oh, I thought people had.
The Reviewing History Discord, which if you are a Patreon member, you can be a part of, has just turned on us completely.
Good.
I thought
as they
everyone was
should. As they should. You guys deserve it.
Everyone was on our side. I thought.
No,
No?
I just took a
You
peek.
so you
and I saw
thought
about
everybody
15
in the
Blues
world
Brothers memes.
agreed with you that the Blues Brothers isn't a fucking classic.
That's not what we said.
He said it's not funny.
It's not funny
I love how our fans just abuse us.
because this
That's
is
how you know you've made it.
We
Yeah.
made it.
we went through the whole thing, me and Ann, and we dissected it. I'm not gonna relitigate it here, but we tried to find what were the jokes.
It's not
They're
that
few and far between.
It's not that kind of. It's not that kind of humor.
But that's
Like
There is
punchline
no
kind of
humor.
humor. No, I don't agree. I don't agree with
can you get other than the Ray Charles thing, which we admit is
Very funny.
it's just funny. What like can you give us an example off the top of your head of a joke in the movie?
Did you get my cheese whiz, boy?
How is that a joke?
I don't know.
Yeah.
How is that?
Ridiculous.
That's one of the gifts they
comedy.
sent us. That's one of the
Oh,
gifts
really?
they sent us in
Yeah?
the Discord. Yeah.
Said that.
I mean, I think I
You don't even remember what that was.
I can't recall that.
That's
again,
one of the lines
Oh, they give it to the guy.
yeah,
the old man
in the
yeah.
building that gets blown up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Why is this funny that they give him cheese?
I just
It's
think
just it's just a thing that
I
happens.
don't know. Look, you can't.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, yeah.
maybe cheese was just like a thing that was like.
No, it's not. It's not a special
Just
thing.
hitting
It's just
the
a non
market.
sequitur.
Yeah.
Like,
they just come in
joke,
and like,
you
hey,
know?
we got this thing. It's like
I asked you for cheese whiz. You have delivered it.
it's the equivalent of if I texted Ant while he was at the store. I'm like, hey, can you get me like a bag of chips?
And you, the audience, is just to be like, who would do that? Who would get
next
cheese
time I
whiz?
watch the movie, I'm going to text you guys as I'm watching it.
Text
you know?
us the jokes.
I gotta
'cause
watch
we
it.
couldn't fucking find
I
them.
gotta watch it.
And we looked.
You've never seen it?
No.
I love. I mean, again, that to me, that's a movie that I think it's a classic, obviously, but I also think it's sort of a trailblazer type movie because it was a big budget comedy, which you didn't really get back then, right? It's sort of I guess slapsticky, you know, like in the everything is turned up, you know, the violence, the violence, the.
Do you ever see It's a Mad World?
It's like that, right? It's in the vein of that kind of stuff, right? I mean, and the music is great. I mean, you can't.
No,
We're not disputing that.
musical numbers are good.
We're not disputing that. We're not disputing the action. We're not disputing the
They-
filmmaking.
were they sounded
We're
like characters?
disputing the comedy.
Can you pass me your book real quick?
Yeah. Well, should we let?
I'm gonna let him.
Yeah.
So, Brian draws pictures for the movies that we do. Can you just describe to the best of your ability what you see at
Now,
the
you're
top
an
of
artist.
that page? You're an
Where is
artist.
the-
He didn't even know where the drawing was.
I have shitty eyesight.
Oh, it's
I
okay.
assume that's a gun.
See?
Can you like just describe it like?
What do you see?
Yeah, what do you see
I mean,
for an audio listener?
it looks like a retard's gun, but I see the sight of the gun. I guess this would be, I don't know what you would call
The
that
hammer?
part of the gun. No. Is that what that is? The hammer?
The back is the hammer. Yeah.
That's a pretty big what kind of thumb do you need to fucking pull that down?
It's like a cross between a Luger and a revolver.
What's all the stuff on the handle?
No, that's like some shading.
Shading or ornate?
Picasso over here. Shading.
Or ornate.
I'm more concerned with the way he's written the word young.
How'd I spell it? Y-O-U?
Y-O.
No, he spelled it right. But the Y and the O are descending
Right,
from
it's
the
like-
sky.
Young guns. Young guns. Man, this is terrible.
I do
handwriting.
recognize this as a gun, Brian, but it looks like a German
This
Mauser.
looks like the fucking John Doe.
It's the mix between a Luger and a revolver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the 7 notebook that, is there
Do
any
you know what?
skin in there?
Do you know what this looks like? You ever see the rubber band guns?
Yeah, kind of.
That's what it looks like, a
Right,
rubber
the,
band
with that
gun,
big
yeah.
back piece that
Yeah,
holds
yeah,
the
yeah,
rubber. The band, yeah.
Oh yeah. How,
Because the barrel the hammer, I guess it is. Is that what it's called? Steve?
yeah. The
Looks
hammer.
pretty goddamn big,
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up the show. Tom,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us. This
Thank
was a
you,
pleasure.
Tommy.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
You have
Where
anything
can people find
you
you?
want to plug?
The Jacked Kirby podcast is all over wherever you could find podcasts on Instagram at Jacked_Kirby, and I'm on Instagram at Tommy Lombardozzi. I'm sure you guys will put the name in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm an artist. If you need any art, I could draw some shit for you. And that's it. Come listen to the show. Come follow us. Check it out. Brian's been on. You could find that episode.
Yeah.
I don't know the number, but you can find it.
It's
And,
around.
Awesome.
Did he add anything of value?
Oh, we had a great. Well, like I said, me and my co-host had a fight, so I felt bad for him. He was just kind of.
Yeah.
It's a lot longer than yes.
I took the unenviable position of being pro Stanley on a Jacked Kirby podcast.
Yeah, he came in very prepared. He knew like
I know my
Oh,
shit.
Stanley's the enemy?
he's a fraud.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's a There's a big thing with a lot of pro Jack
Takes
Kirby
a lot of
people.
credit for things he didn't do.
Way out with
took a
Bill
lot of-
Finger.
Took a lot. Yeah, right. Bill Finger is the guy who did all the Batman stuff, and
Right.
Bob Kane's the guy that got all the credit. It's similar.
Similar thing.
Time will tell. Proof is in the pudding.
I'm always of the mind that
I mean, it's been 80 years.
like
What? What'd you say?
He said time will tell.
80 years.
It's been 80 years for Bill Finger.
Well,
but now
No,
he's
no,
getting
no.
the recognition.
right.
it's Stanley.
And now that Stanley's dead, he's not out
we can
there.
besmirch his name.
Kind of. No, people have been doing that for long enough. But
I love the clip of him and Jack Kirby like fighting on the radio.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually listened to that.
Yeah, I sent it to you. I found it
good,
fascinating.
Yeah.
I think Jack Kirby is important, obviously. I do think Stan played a part in the development of things. And I think
Stan
that
was a
I think a
cheerleader,
lot of
you know?
pro Jack people, not necessarily saying you, but a lot of the pro Kirby crowd, I feel a lot of them go out of their way to make it seem like Stan did absolutely nothing.
No, I would never say that.
You know?
I would say that he needs to get credit for the things that he did and not the things that he didn't do. And that's for everybody, right? You don't give somebody credit if they didn't do something.
Yeah, and-
So for him to say, I wrote everything when not one single script exists, how do you say you wrote everything, you know?
Uh-huh.
I could say, I co-plotted. Yeah, that's what he did. I dialogued
Taking
this
your
stuff.
name
Yeah,
out of
that's
the
what he did.
LLC.
Yeah, I mean, like, he definitely played a part in the development of, like, Fantastic Four and, like...
Less so than Fantastic Four, but he was
Spider-Man.
He was a cheerleader. I mean, he was the face. You know, he's the guy that said to everybody, "Hey, buy these books," and people bought the books. So you get credit for that. You know,
Yeah.
you can't take that away from him. Like everybody knows who he is, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. Nobody knows who Jack Kirby is because he was the guy actually doing the fucking work. And he didn't have time to bullshit in movies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he wasn't
Yeah.
doing cameos.
Yeah,
and
goddamn it.
he also died at the wrong time
Right,
for himself,
right.
you know?
Is there a right time?
Well, I think if he died in 2020,
Right.
November
It's-
08.
He might have been in the movies too. right,
Exactly,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. We
You know?
talked about that this week, actually.
yeah, he could have been interacting with the Thing, who
Right.
is based on him. But anyway,
Go check it out. We've
Yeah.
been doing the show for a long time, a labor of love, and we have an Instagram page. It's got thousands of followers.
ever?
I don't know.
You don't,
do you have a personal favorite?
Usagi Yojimbo was my favorite.
That's your
comic.
favorite?
Yeah.
Really?
Stan Sakai. It's
Wow.
about a rabbit that is a samurai.
It's a spin-off from Ninja Turtles, right?
No.
Oh,
it's-
no?
It
They just
it came
bought it
before.
after?
He interacts with them. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So the Turtles bought the rights? Because I had like
no,
action
they
figures
didn't
of them.
buy the rights, but they licensed.
Okay.
Yeah. So he'll appear in the cartoons
Okay.
and shit like that. But it was his own thing first, you know.
It predates Turtles?
I think it's 86 and Turtles are 84.
Okay. So, yeah, not too far.
Not too far, yeah. But,
Yeah, but I remember like he appeared in the Turtles
yeah, and there
cartoons
was
as a
a
kid,
toys
and
and
like
stuff,
I
right.
had toys of him.
great comic. It got me into Japanese film. Got me into Kurosawa movies. And stuff.
Okay, that's cool.
So and it's just really well done. Like he's a writer artist, you know, and it's a lot of Japanese folklore and stuff, and it's really good. It's talking animals, so
Yeah.
sometimes people are like, that's
You ever
lame.
read Black Sad?
Oh, it's great.
It's fucking
Yeah,
phenomenal,
it's great.
right? Like,
Beautiful artwork.
Like that's a book that you tell it to people and you sound like a furry weirdo.
Right.
But it's like you can't
It's a
believe
cat detective.
It's
Right.
yeah, it's noir stories
Mm-hmm.
about this like the detective's name is Black Sad. He's a black cat.
Right.
It's a world where everybody's animals, but it's this guy who was a Disney artist. I forget his name right now.
French guy.
Yeah, I thought he's Hispanic.
Either way.
Whatever.
Something.
It's
Ain't
a-
American.
It's a French book, yeah. Anyway, but the book looks like it's Disney. art.
Beautiful,
So
yeah,
it's
it's
the most
beautiful.
gorgeous fucking book like ever.
Really,
Yeah.
really great artwork. Yeah. I mean, I read a bunch of, I read a lot of different things, but I like
Yeah.
Jack Kirby.
Okay, that's your guy, man.
All right.
All right. Well, this week on the Patreon, we have Slasher School, The Evil Dead,
Oh, nice.
me. No, I'm sorry. We don't have Slasher School this week.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm wrong. What a wrong.
Why do I come here?
Embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, I'm
Brian.
sorry. This week we have our film school, Nothing Out of the Ordinary.
Nobody knows what that is. They're not excited.
They love it.
People like it.
I don't know if that's true, but he says it.
Me and Steve go through our old
Steve
short
and I.
films. Oh my God, fucking pedantic fucking.
I mean, it was
cocksucker.
in Young Guns.
You and I.
So
The illiterate outlaw knew it.
Pugilist.
yeah, Steve and me. Can I say that?
It just
Yes.
Okay.
Say whatever you want.
Yeah,
It's your show.
So Steve and me go through our old short films and we watch them with you and we talk about the history of us making them and inside jokes and stuff and we share it with you and we generally have a good time reminiscing about
Yeah, that's good.
our youth. It's a fun show. So that's dropping
To
this
what,
week
Mr.
on the
Gambino?
Patreon. Thank you, Tommy. Want to
Thank
give a
you.
big thank you to Tom, Steve, Dave, Brywalt, Q, Get 'em. Last record down in the studio. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for listening. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, leave a comment on Spotify. It helps boost us in the algorithm. Feel free to share, tell a friend.
What's the email?
The email is reviewinghistorypod@gmail.com. You could send an email.
Hesitated.
Follow the show on all social media at ReviewHistoryPod on Twitter. Reviewing History Pod everywhere else. Follow me personally on all social media at Brian Rupert. That's with 2 P's. Follow me on Letterboxd. I rank over every single movie I watch, even the ones in my personal life. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.